Hey there, Ben here. Just a short message to say that this is part one of our tier list episode. It ended up being just under 5 hours, so we've split it up, part one today and then part two next week. We hope that you enjoy listening to us going through all of the games that we've played, and do let us know what you think in the Discord.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Play Along Podcast, the podcast where we play through games. In today's episode is actually our final episode of 2025. And to round it out, last year we we ranked all the 2024 games we had played. And Kai actually had the idea of what if we did that for every game we've played for the podcast. So today we have a beautiful tier list that you can't see, but the boys and I can see. And we are going to rank every single game we've played for the podcast in the last 5 years. So very excited for that. I'm your host, Jared, and I'm joined by, again, Kai and Ben. As always, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing well. After Christmas. I hope your Christmas was good.
Merry after
It was either wonderful or terrible, we will say.
Yeah.
Excited to take a stroll down memory lane, though.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
Yeah. It's weird, guys. How do you feel? Last episode of 2025. Not for us, because we're recording 2026 episodes in December, but
that's true, yeah.
Last one.
I don't know, man. Time is a construct. I've come to this conclusion.
Yeah, it does.
It's a flat.
Yeah. Bootstrap paradox and all that.
Especially with the podcast.
Damn, there's games on here that I completely
Simulacra.
forgot that we played.
Hey, well.
I mean, Frog Fractions. I was like,
Fucking
damn,
Frog
you're right. We did
Fractions.
play that. The Castlevania game
Yep.
for PS1.
Symphony of the Night, Oregon Trails on here. Yeah, we got a lot of, that's why it's fun, because we have a lot of new listeners that are coming to the show just this year. And if that's you, we have a very large backlog of games that we've been playing. And when we started this, we intentionally set out to have the podcast be evergreen. So at any point you're like, oh shit, they've played through that. You can go back and listen to it. Audio quality might not be as up to par as it is now, but I think the fire's still there. The drive is there. Where we lack in overall quality, we make up with spunk. I don't know.
Gross.
That's not.
Yeah. How are you, Jared? Anyway,
I'm doing good. I record a podcast before this, so I might have a lot more energy than I probably usually do.
He's warmed up.
I just talked for the last 2 hours on a podcast, so I got my warm ups going on, but I'm doing good. It's getting, like you said, for us, it's getting close to a Christmas season, which our Christmas time rather. So that's always fun. Going to go visit some family, and like Kai said, it either was great or visiting family is always an adventure. So we'll see how
it's one of the two.
But I've been good. I've been doing good. Honestly, this is my plug for y'all to go play Hatful Boyfriend, because that's what I was just talking about in the last recording, and it's good. Honestly, I had a great time with Claire and Kanisha talking about that. So go play it. I know it's a weird dating sim where you talk to poorly rendered PNGs of birds, but it actually had a lot more emotional depth than that, which was very surprising.
Oh, okay, interesting. I've been piqued by it a couple of times over the years, so
yeah,
it's on the backlog somewhere.
If you like things like oh my gosh, why am I Doki Doki? It's very akin to like that, where it's like the subverting expectation starts cute, gets kind of dark and gritty, has some probably not as much like visual like themes, like dark themes as Doki Doki has, because that game gets fucking wild. But I would say similar in some of the themes that they're presenting.
Would not expect that from a pigeon dating sim.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why it was so good. That's why it was good. But yes, today, like I said at the top of the show, today we are going through our entire catalog of Play Along Podcast games, and we have a tier list here ranking from S to F, and the three of us are going to sit down and try to rank them. We do have to come up with a consensus. We do have to come up with a consensus on each game, or at least a majority vote on all of this for a game to be placed. But I told the boys that each of us do have a veto. So at any point,
2
We do have
vetoes.
2 vetoes. At any point, we can veto a game and its placement and put it wherever we want. We can use our veto to counter that, right? So if you want to waste your veto and you're like, there's no shot that Ocarina of Time is getting that low, then you can use your veto to counter that and put it wherever you want. So not that I'm going to do that in the first ranking or anything though, too. So, but we do have a lot of games here, boys. Do you say we just get into it? Ready to get started?
On, man.
I want to say at the beginning of this episode that I have officially purchased Clair Obscura, and I am a man of my word.
I told you, Ben. He's here.
And
he's here. He did it.
I will start playing through Expedition 33 in my free time. I have 2 weeks off for Christmas, so now I know what I'll be doing.
I know I said this about Chrono, and I know I said this about every Final Fantasy 9, and I think this will be the turn-based RPG that you enjoy.
Okay.
And to give I was thinking about this too, of why this game stood out so much. Also, we're in just a couple of days removed from the Game Awards and Clair Obscure winning and everything too. So this is very much on the precipice of our minds. But I think most RPGs, turn-based RPGs that are formatted like this, right, that are character-driven, narrative-driven, you're playing a character and running through a space, are all more or less JRPG. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. Are more or less JRPGs, right? It's very anime-focused.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it has Western themes to it, they're still very much that focus. They're very much anime. There's some things that are more Western, but a lot of that leads into tactical RPGs and everything in its visual presentation and the themes that they tackle. But Clair Obscure is one of the games where I feel that it tackles a lot of kind of modern themes and tropes that are removed from a JRPG, but still have the JRPG DNA in them. It has the fun of what is fun about those turn-based games and the character building, but it tackles themes that are more directly Western than anything else.
Yeah, I think for me though, is the main thing is there's interactivity during the turns, Kai. I think that's the main game changer. Is you're not just sitting waiting for somebody to do something. There is stuff that you can do even on their turn.
We'll see, because Kai canonically does not like QuickTime events, and that's essentially what that is too. So.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, we shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah.
That is ultimately the answer.
Stay tuned for future episodes, because Kai will give us his.
We might even do a very, very, very late Clair Obscure episode as a recap. We'll see how far.
It would be hilarious, because I did a dedicated episode and then Ben did it in his Get Wrecked. So if we have a third one with all three of us, we'll just full circle.
It's free, man. Expedition 33.
Dude, you're right. I don't remember who it was, and if this is you and you're listening, if you're someone in the podcast, but someone had posted and they put exactly 33 hours into this game, and I was like, how could that not have been intentional? That's some wild, just coincidence.
Video game numerology.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. How we're going to be structuring this is we're going to be going through the games that we've played in chronological order. So we'll start with Ocarina of Time, which is our first one, and then we'll just go in order of how we played these games for the podcast, and that's how we're going to be tackling these things first. So let's start with the very first game that we played for the show, the game that started it, which is Ocarina of Time, which Ocarina of Time is still... It has, 3 episodes that are in our top 10. So,
that does not enter into the metric of whether
no. Absolutely. We're just raking it on terms of how
it's still one of the most listened to games of all time.
No, I'm just trying to throw some facts about the game beforehand.
Go on, Jared. Where do
you think it belongs, Jared?
So, gut reaction. There's a lot of good games on here, right? There's a lot of fantastic games.
There's a lot of terrible games on here.
There's a lot of bad games on here. My gut reaction was A, right? I know that's probably blasphemous because, Ocarina of Time, a lot of people say best game ever, started a lot of things S tier. I think it borderlines S tier, but again, there's a lot on this. I'd be willing to put this, and how we're going to structure it.
Well, let's start somewhere else first. Let's align on what the tiers mean, because I think we all have different. So, S is what as far as an experience?
No notes,
goes.
Man. No fucking notes.
Okay, well, that's not going to work.
I wouldn't even say S is perfect. S is just I would say amazing, incredible.
I would say S is an experience you cannot I would not recommend going on without. I would say S is maybe it has some flaws, but my recommendation is that you play it. It
Like,
doesn't matter who you are, what your preference is. S is like, you have to play this game. That's my opinion.
okay, I'm
Then
okay
A
with
is
that.
like, this is a great game if you like this kind of game. Like, this is a perfect version of this genre.
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it to someone who doesn't enjoy that genre, but it's like,
yeah.
it's a solid entry in that space.
This
That would
could
be,
get someone into this genre perhaps too. Like if you're traditionally like not loving this kind of
yeah,
type of game, this game could be one that could get you into this type of game.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then
B?
B, good, but not great.
Yeah. B reminds me of all the like amazing 7 out of 10 games I've played.
Yes.
Where it's like
That's the 7 out of 10 category. That's
Yeah.
where they all belong.
Yeah.
B is, there could be a lot of games in B.
B's gonna be kind of overpopulated. C, I would say that like I enjoyed a lot of the experience, but there was also a lot bad where I could easily find things I didn't like about this game, and even like it almost gets close to being the bad outweighs the good, but there's still enough good where I'm like, this is fine. There's a very probably niche amount of people that I'd recommend this to, but it's still overall like I think good with a lot of flaws.
D is the bad outweighs the good.
D is the bad outweighs the good, and F is just like this game's fucking.
F is the exact opposite of S, which is I would never recommend anyone ever play this. And there are games on here that definitely belong in the F category where I'm like,
man, I don't know if
I would never recommend someone pick this up unless they're doing it strictly for content. Like if you're trying to enjoy yourself.
I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. We've aligned on our categories.
Mhm.
Now we can continue.
Yeah, how you feeling about Ocarina? Ocarina of Time.
Okay, I'll be honest. For me, Ocarina's like B.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because you also played this like you came late to Ocarina, right? Me and Kai grew up.
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
Ocarina,
So
you
like,
came late to Ocarina.
yeah, I guess for like people who don't, haven't listened to the pod or anything, like those early episodes, like Ocarina was my first entry into the Zelda franchise.
Yeah.
In 2021, so it was like almost 30 years old at that point. I think like 93 it came out, right? Somewhere around that
98.
time. 98. Oh god. Okay, so like 25 years old, ish. I think, and this is foreshadowing what I'm gonna say going forward. For me, Ocarina is B, Wind Waker is A, Tears is S. That's my kind of logic. Like, Ocarina is a good Zelda game, but there's a lot of like control issues. It's really finicky. There's a lot of like areas that, for me, it kind of struggled with the N64 control layout. And also just thematically the bootstrap paradox and the time travel,
the
and all
origins
stuff
of our
it did for
bootstrap theme.
yeah, all of the stuff it did for the Zelda timeline. I'm happy putting it in A. I'm happy to go with a consensus of A. For me personally, it's a B.
Yeah, I don't think I can't put this in B. This has to be at least an A for me.
Okay, well, my question is, are we rating the games purely based on our experience with them, or are we taking into account the cultural and impact on other games in the future? It's just our experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
just
it's our experience, and then obviously once we get into moving games into categories, we'll start comparing them because they're going to be ranked within each category too, which is going to make things a little difficult. But
okay, in that case, then I would be between a B and an A, but we'll default to A because you're probably A to S, and we're both B.
Yeah, I would say that Ocarina is like a low S, a high A for me for sure. Yeah. Okay, so we're fine with putting Ocarina at A.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
No, vetoes used thus far.
Okay, Ocarina of Time is on an A. Going from one side of the spectrum to the complete other, Frog Fractions. Frog Fractions.
Oh, that was the next game, wasn't it? Shit.
Yeah, right after we used to do interstitial episodes before we had kind of like the structure we have now. We used these one-off games to split up our main book club series. So Frog Fractions was the first game that I played. I'm pretty sure Kai, you had told me about this weird kind of like math game that was very satirical and everything. And
I did. Yeah, I wanted to play this for a long time. And you
know
what?
Go on.
Pretty fucking good. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, look, is it an A? No, but I think it's like
I don't know if it's a B.
I think it is unfortunately dealing with a non-recency bias benefit in that we played this 5 years ago. Like it is.
Yo, if this dropped now with all the weird indie shit that comes out, people would be like it's loving Frog Fractions.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of like vibe as like all those weird fucking like games that are like subversive. And I don't know, it's an interesting concept, right? It's a flash game that technically like tries to do a little bit more than other. I would say people should experience Frog Fractions. It's a good time. It's short. It's relatively cheap. I don't know what
is that S.
If you don't have the context of,
I want to be clear. No, it's not S.
Yeah, the context of what this is. It starts off as a very like edutainment math game, and again, like I said, the whole point is subversion. And I wouldn't say there's really anything cohesive narratively that happens. It's just kind of like the whole point of the game is just like, what the fuck is happening? It plays on a bunch of different video game genre tropes, right? Whether it's like a visual novel and like text-based adventure, and like that side of it is cool. They mentioned bug porn, which is also
here's my argument for it ending up in B over C.
Okay.
C is like, it's solid. It didn't really try anything too like crazy, but like it's still a good experience. B is like, Frog Fractions is kind of a singular game in a genre in which it's like it really tried to take a genre that wasn't taken seriously and make it something interesting and do something different. And I think that would be my argument for why it deserves B over C. I could totally hear the argument of why it deserves C. It's like, it's not a life-changing experience by any means, but it is. I think it's interesting enough to get it over the hill and to like.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that argument. I'd have a hard time like. I can see recommending this to someone and them having a lot of friction with it, being like, what did you tell me to play this?
It's definitely a game that would only be appreciated by people of a certain generation who played a lot of edutainment games that are pretty shitty.
To use your own definition, it is by definition a C, because
Fine.
C is very niche.
Throw it in.
Well, Ben, do you have any other thoughts expounded on?
He was going to put it in D.
No, dude, I genuinely, at first, I was like, yeah, it's a fucking S.
It's a perfect game. Everyone should play Frog Fractions.
I think the reason I'm happy personally with C is like, the people who enjoy it will fucking love it. If you're into like batshit crazy, wacky games that don't make any sense, and like you said, there's one bit where you're like the president of Bug Mars and you're selling bug porn in order to like raise the economy and stuff. Like, if you're into that kind of shit, you're gonna love it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sitting there like, that is an hour and a half of my life that I'm not getting back. Like, what have I just done?
I was just about to say, for people like curious and anything, this game on how long to beat is only an hour. So even if there is, and I think I remember us talking about this in the episode where the things that frustrated us don't stay long enough to really feel like they're a problem.
No,
it's a very short game.
It's a very short game.
No.
Okay.
So personally, I was leaning towards C.
Okay. Frog Fractions, which is...
It's on the right-hand side,
Frog Fractions.
Is it not in our top 10 at all, is it, Jared?
I was I'm still scrolling to try to find out where it's ranked, so I'll just leave it at that.
No.
I wish there was a search here so I can type in and see... I can just search the game instead of having to scroll through here. But I've been scrolling for a little bit, and I haven't found it, so something tells me...
What did we play after Ocarina?
So the next main series that we did, so Ben's first game was the original Metal Gear Solid, and... that was a game that, Ben has a history with the franchise and everything. And then Kai and I went into this very fresh of not really, I haven't touched anything Kojima really ever, let alone anything Metal Gear. But
this is where we're going to have some wild.
Ben, I want you to kind of spearhead the start of this, of like gut reaction, where you think it is, and kind of talking about the game and your experience and everything. And
so like you said, it was my first main pick. Grew up playing Metal Gear, fucking game changing for my personal like gaming history and stuff. And Jared just wanted me to talk about Metal Gear so he could eat his spaghetti. That was the only reason that he's really put me on this tangent.
He's like, how about you start talking about
no,
like,
yes, but no.
A lukewarm bowl of spaghetti at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
It's like a perfect day to
me. my gut reaction, which I'm happy with personally, is B, because I think the thing, and I've said it a couple of times, like Kojima is very, very divisive. I was going to talk about cultural impact then, but I can't because I said no. So,
I mean, we can change the rules.
No,
No, we can't change the rules. I think B is I'm happy with B. I would even like accept C, because I think for me with Metal Gear Solid, the gameplay wise is brilliant. Like the sneaking around and the cones of vision and being able to avoid people's paths so they can't see you and stuff like that. The problem with Metal Gear Solid is the same problem that most Kojima games have, which is when the plot comes along, people go, "What the fuck is happening?"
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid is like a prime example of that. You've got all of the shit with Decoy Octopus and the DARPA chief dying, and then it's not actually the DARPA chief, and then there's a fucking ninja, and then
Yeah.
there's like a wolf, and she's a sniper woman, and like Otacon pisses his pants in the locker, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
So my gut reaction was B, but I'm like teeter-tottering on BC.
So my gut reaction was C, and I think if it was in this category, it'd be high. So I think it's either writing as high, a high C, low B for me. Where you're talking about the story, yes, I remember this being very confusing on the narrative stuff that is being presented. Obviously, the game is a PlayStation 1 game, so it doesn't control the best.
Mm-hmm.
Controls are atrocious, but I love the idea if we're talking about like doing things different and taking risks and everything for this game, right? I think it did a lot of cool stuff mechanically with a lot of its components of like the whole idea of like being a spy and utilizing the different equipment that comes with that. I think it did a really cool job,
I think,
with that in Metal Gear.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I was leaning more towards a B was because although it is a PlayStation 1 game, there's the elements of like your footprints in the snow,
Yeah.
and guards following those to see where you are, being able to knock on walls to attract people, like the hiding in boxes. Like it was pretty groundbreaking for a PlayStation 1 game, and it adds to that experience of being this like lone wolf on Shadow Moses, who's the only person who's there who's able to stop this terrorist organization.
You know, I was leading B a lot for a lot of these, and then I remembered trying to shoot in first person, and I was like, ooh, hold on.
Wait, that was Metal Gear 2.
Oh, is there not in
Metal
the first
Gear 2?
No, yeah, that was
Okay.
that's the sequel.
This was the one where you had to hold square and it automatically locked onto somebody, and then you let go of square. This was arguably worse than trying to shoot in first person.
Yes.
You're right. This is arguably worse. Oh God, you're right. Oh man. Is the cool stuff theming wise and equipment wise outweigh
the bad? What's Kai saying?
Yeah,
Where's
Kai, go give me some thoughts.
I did not appreciate this game very much. Look, like it's hard because I have to separate how I feel about how people feel about Kojima from how I feel about this game, which is relatively difficult for me to do. It's fine. Like,
okay.
The problem is that like if I were to give this to someone, if I was like, okay, you have to play a Metal Gear game, I wouldn't give someone the first Metal Gear. I would give them
like
one of the many Metal Gears that came after that's much better. Like, you know, like that's the reality is like this is good. People think this is good because they have memories playing it, but because it was the first of a franchise that became a beloved franchise, and so much in the way that like Ocarina is heralded as like an incredible experience, it just started something that became very meaningful for people. That being said, I don't have any of that nostalgia for this game, so it's hard for me. And like it does, the controls suck. I do think the characters are interesting. Like it does
for sure,
it does do something interesting, and to Kojima's credit, like it has it's like if anime was a milsim that was like not in a normal anime world where it's just like the laws of human condition don't apply equally. So I would say like probably B tier. Somewhere.
That's a lot higher than I
thought you were going to
put it like low C, high
No,
D.
because like look, like the reality is like is it my cup of tea? No, but I can understand whose cup of tea it is. And I understand why people like it. I get why people like the characters, even the blatant misogyny aside. Like it is an interesting world to be in, you know, like it is an experience, and there is really nothing like it. Like Kojima's games are in themselves something that you can't really experience anywhere else. I can't point to anything outside of Metal Gear and be like, oh, there's this game where there's a fat guy on roller skates, and you know, I know that's a sequel. But we're talking about too. It's just like, but even there, like Revolver Ocelot, or these characters that are like so weirdly specific and such like a cultural like thing that you're like, yeah, like there is something about that, even in a vacuum of just playing it, where you recognize like, okay, there is something cool going on here.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard for me because to get over like the PS1 controls, I didn't grow up playing PS1 controls, so it's like it's just a hurdle for me to get over. But I don't think, like, I do think there's still value in experiencing this game.
Yeah,
I just think there's better Metal Gear Solid games. Which,
and we also played this on the PS1 Classics. We played this with the PS1 controller.
We did.
Same as
might have been a mistake.
Yeah, same with Ocarina. We played Ocarina with the N64 controller, which I mean, weirdly enough, I think that like that works because it was so built around that control scheme. It actually works kind of better with the N64 controller. And
I just don't feel comfortable saying Metal Gear Solid is a same or equal
to
experience to Frog Fraction.
No, yeah,
exactly. Like, and I like Frog Fractions more, but I don't feel comfortable with that.
Right, and you know, throughout this, there may be like some distance that may separate those two things, but right now we have those two things close together, and they could not be further apart from one another.
I think the thing with Metal Gear is it's all the little things. It's the knock it, like the whole thing about finding Revolver Ocelot was you had to knock on the bit of the wall to work out which bit of wall was hollow because it sounded different, and then blow that up with C4. Is this
the one where you had to switch the input, or is that 2?
Yeah, no, that was the Psycho Mantis fight. Yeah,
where you have to like go into
put in the second controller.
Yeah. See, like that shit.
That's cool.
That still is, even though it's like kind of gimmicky. Like that's fucking cool. Like no one else did
rudimentary to today's standards, but in like general conception wise, like that's cool. That's a cool like boss fight mechanic.
Yeah.
All right.
I say B. I'm happy with B.
Happy with B? Okay. Let's put Metal Gear. Look at all of us coming to not using vetoes and coming to consensus.
I know it's staying.
There will be vetoes.
Which I mean, we'll see with this next one. So this is Ben's first interstitial they had recommended. We're still in 2021, so we're still in the first year of the podcast. But this is Intelligent Cube for the PlayStation.
Can I just
1.
go at just F?
Just no one needs to play Intelligent.
Hold on.
No.
I think Intelligent Cube is at least D.
You want to use your veto?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So
just hear me out for a second.
For the people listening, Intelligent Cube is a PS1 puzzle game, in which there is a giant cube that rolls towards you, and you are the cube, and you had to like.
No, you're the person.
You're the guy,
you're the person.
But you control the cube.
You control the cube, and you have to use the cube to like fill in squares and basically solve the puzzles. And it was all very confusing.
You're not trying to get crushed. They're like plummeting towards you. And you're trying not to get the little guy crushed, so you're like moving cubes.
So I think we have to hear your argument as to why it's D and not F.
Yeah, what is your logic system here?
Yo, the music slaps.
No,
oh my god,
that adventure music.
I tell you what, I would agree with D. If you can hum me a fucking song from Intelligent Cube without Googling.
No, it's you typing. Hum the song.
No, I do. I do remember there was some like John fucking Williams like Star Warsy fucking epic music.
Here's my justification of why it belongs in F, because I don't know if you remember the game Bloxors. Same idea, way better game. It's a flash game. It's a rectangle puzzle flash game where you navigate like paths, where you have to do it in certain ways because a rectangle can only move in so many axes. Phenomenal game. I vaguely
remember this, and you had to like get it through the hole.
Yes.
You had to like roll it in a certain way and get it.
It was
Counterpoint, that isn't on our tier list.
No. I'm just saying, like, once again,
are you saying in a world of block puzzle
in a world of block puzzle games, I can think of a flash free to play puzzle game that I played in middle school computers that is significantly better than this game.
You know what? To this day, I could not tell you how the mechanics work. I don't think I ever successfully operated that game.
You could press triangle to like freeze something. Like I don't understand what.
I don't know.
I will say it's F with the caveat that the music does slap. I will acknowledge that the music does slap. It's got some John Williams fucking Star Wars.
Ain't no way I'm using a veto on this. So I'll get you guys in the majority.
I'll yield and
we'll put Intelligent Cube at the bottom. But that is.
Don't play Intelligent Cube. If you're listening to this and you're like, I have obstinate defiant disorder and I want to play the thing they say not to, just don't. Like, why? Like, it's
to be fair, To be fair, if you have the PlayStation 1 Classic, it's already on there, so you can go try it out. And the game's 2 hours long. So
if you're one of the 12 people who bought the PS1 Classic.
hold on. You played so much of that fucking Puzzle League Street Fighter game that's on.
And have you touched it since 2021?
No. Okay, next game up was Kai's first main book club game recommendation, and we should play through Kentucky Route Zero.
Oh my god!
So this is going to be a big one because
look, here's my thing.
Okay,
there are a few games on this list that I would fight for S tier, and I can't decide if this is one. There's a game coming up in the next couple that I know that I will fucking veto to use to put it in S tier. I think this is an A. Because the thing it does well is it was like the first big indie experience that was like fucking magical realism, right? Like that was its big thing. It like had a lot of themes going on. There was a lot of different pieces, but it didn't necessarily tie all those pieces together perfectly. That's the thing I will say about Kentucky.
Yeah.
Is like there are games that do like weird esoteric stories well and then can kind of tie it all together and make it an experience. Kentucky's a beautiful game, and don't get me wrong, I love Kentucky Route Zero, but there's not a clear through line so much. It kind of gets lost in the middle, and then there's weird indie musicians at the end that show up, and then
that concert was so good though. Like that concert
it's good. Cool. It's good. I just don't.
But I think you're right. I think our even our thoughts while recording that. Right, this whole idea is going across the 0 point and this traversal, and the journey in between, meeting friends, exploring themes, and then again the theme of just like capitalism and being worked to death and everything. And
well, I think I have to separate it. Like the thing I loved about Kentucky was not so much playing it, but talking about playing it.
For sure.
That's not what we're rating, right? Like Kentucky Route Zero is a great podcast game, is an S tier podcast game, but as an experience in itself, if I'm a single person playing through it in a vacuum,
I mean, even all of us at the end kind of criticized it on its ambiguity and lack of connection to the main themes towards the roll credits at the end too.
It kind of fell apart at the end, but it's still a beautiful experience.
I don't know, Ben, how are you? What's your gut reaction to placing Kentucky somewhere?
I think my gut reaction was A, because I was unsure because can you hear me, by the way? I'm cool.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I didn't want to put it in S because S was like the must play experience and stuff, and it was one of those where I'm like, the people who love magical realism, who love indie games, who love like that kind of that discourse are gonna love this experience, and people who don't, but they're not gonna play it. So I think I'm kind of like Kai. Like, I mean, to this day, Kentucky Route Zero is one of my favorite series that we've done because of the conversations that came from it. To the point where, like, I went on another podcast and spoke with the host at that podcast about it because I just enjoyed talking about the game and the themes so much. I don't think I can put it in S, and I don't think I can put it any lower than a B. So I'm very much like happy with A.
So Kentucky Route Zero ranks number 32 in our podcast list here. Not me wanting to put put Kentucky in S just so I don't have to think about it being better than Ocarina or not, and having to deal with that majority. But I think I'm aligned with you guys there.
Well, how about this? How about we do all of the games and then we finalize it, or do you want to do it as we go?
I think it's more interesting to like lock it in and just like having to lock things in.
All right. Then I think purely for No, okay, right. I feel like Ocarina just beats out Kentucky. I think it's really fucking close, but I think if we were including the ability to discourse about it and to talk about it, then Kentucky would outbeat Ocarina. But I think if we're going purely on gameplay experience, I think Ocarina, it is fucking close for me, but I think Ocarina
Yeah.
just edges it out.
I think so too. I think, like you said, conversationally, Kentucky is exploring way more interesting themes than Ocarina of Time. But getting down to the nitty gritty of, also, I don't think that Kentucky Route Zero is even close to being as accessible as Ocarina. I don't think everyone's going to
No.
jive with what Kentucky is.
Yeah,
Although,
absolutely
even
not.
so, like, I've seen a lot of people, it's almost 50-50. People either love this game or they're like, I just don't like how this experience is. And it's a very indie experience in the traditional sense, where you're reading a lot of text dialogue and there's weird themes that are being thrown around, and it's not your traditional game. And I can see a lot of people having a hard time grasping onto that.
Is What Remains of Edith Finch on here?
No, we have not.
That was a
talked
Get
about
Wrecked that we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's a perfect example of, like, What Remains of Edith Finch I would put in a category of this, because it's a similar time period, right? It's like Annapurna's early collection of the indie games that they published, which would go on to become like foundational indie games for everyone's understanding, right? Like, What Remains of Edith Finch is an unescapable experience. Like, I think if you were into video games, regardless of your like opinion on them, you should play What Remains of Edith Finch. I think it's an incredible narrative experience, gameplay, art style. Kentucky has some of that, but not all of it. I still think it's definitionally like something I really enjoy, and probably an S tier in the games that like I personally like. But from just a vacuum of experience, probably somewhere between a B and an A. But we all really like it, so we're gonna put it as an A. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I think there are moments of Kentucky that are an S, but there's also moments of Kentucky that are like C's, where you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
The whole,
absolutely agree.
like compare like, the whole Junebug and Johnny situation in the diner to the entire situation with the fucking museum and the giant bird who's the brother of the boy that we're talking to.
That's
like,
right. That's right. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's some moments where you're like, okay. All right, something's happening.
But it's like you said, it's just such
creative choice.
It's such a whiplash, because there's moments where you're like, oh my god, that was incredible. Like, holy shit, was that good? And then the others were just like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm fine with putting it, if we're all, wait, where is it? Oh, I see it. We're putting it below Ocarina on this.
I would also recommend, if you're going to play this game, play the PC version, don't play the TV version. Because I still think it's available on Netflix, but it's not as good. Just play...
It's also available, which I think how we played it. Yeah, I played it on Switch. We played it on Switch, so it's a fine Switch game as well. Okay, still in their first year of the pod. We're still in 2021. This was Kai's first interstitial, which is another fantastic game, which is Firewatch. Firewatch, if you don't know, Firewatch is a walking sim where you play a fire marshal. And again, for me, just going off of my initial gut feeling, similar to Kentucky, where this has a lot of potential. Again, there's a lot of magical realism teased in this, but it also had kind of a lacklustery payout towards the end. But I think looking at the experience as a whole, Firewatch is incredible. Like, it's a beautiful game. It has enough like mystery and intrigue with talking to. Do either of you remember the name of the woman that we talked to in Firewatch? Delilah or
something like that.
Delilah or Diane or something.
Diane,
it was
Deborah or something. That was cool, because it's kind of like this idea of like, getting connections, finding human connections, where usually it's a very solitary experience. And again, fire's happening, but it's starting to play with the player and the character's mind of like what is actually happening, what's real and what's not. So that was cool. But like I said, ultimately, I don't think that had a fantastic payout, but the ending didn't ruin the entire experience for me. My gut is feeling B on this. But I think I'm very flexible here. I can move.
I would put it in C.
I can move around. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm in an RM, because C. I mean, like, the Firewatch it is gorgeous game. Like, to
beautiful,
walk around
beautiful
it,
game.
like, absolutely amazing environment. I think going back to it, I think comparing it to Edith Finch, right? The difference with Edith, they're both walking sims, right? But the difference with Edith Finch is that Edith Finch kind of keeps the plot going, and it keeps these secrets revealed, and then you're slowly learning more and more about each of the family members. I feel like Firewatch didn't do that enough. I feel like it was almost like a pacing issue, and I remember kind of having periods where I was just walking and I was in this gorgeous environment, but I was like, I am just walking.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a high C. If we're putting it on C, I would definitely put it above Frog Fractions. But I would say
here's my
C for me.
two justifications.
For
First of all,
C?
the woman's name is Delilah, so good job.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well
Let's
done.
fucking go.
Pulling that out of your brain. Firewatch is very similar to the Long Dark in a lot of ways. It's different environments, obviously. One takes in the Canadian wilderness, but like playing through the main story, which I've done recently, playing through the main story of the Long Dark is, it always, even in its moments of like being completely solitary, there's something to keep you engaged. There's something that keeps bringing you back to like pushing forward. There's that next thing that you're going to. And that comes from not so much like the narrative happening, but just the gameplay itself. Like, and I think Firewatch has a better story than the Long Dark does, like where it's like it's experiencing it, but like games are not just story. It's like, how do you support that story with interesting gameplay? And a lot of the times in Firewatch, it's like, okay, I'm walking to this thing again to do this thing. I'm doing the same mechanic of climbing down a cliff of some shale to like, find the campfire that someone had put out here and reporting it. Like, it didn't do enough to like give the player something to hold on to while experiencing. Like, it relied on being beautiful, which in my opinion is not enough, right? Like, a beautiful environment is a beautiful environment. That's great, but it's not enough to keep someone engaged at a level where you're like, this is an incredible experience.
I don't know, man. Like, looking back on a lot of these, I also like think of the context of like when I play these games again. It's been long enough where I definitely would play Firewatch again. And even if someone asked me if they should play, I think majority I would recommend people playing Firewatch, but like, too.
I guess that's my thing is like, okay, if you're gonna be like, think of it not so much as, will I play this again? Think about it like, I'm gonna recommend someone an indie game where it's a wilderness walking game where you do puzzly wilderness things and you like unfurl a mystery, right? Like, because that's essentially what this game falls into. Sure, there's a romance element, but it's really just kind of the story that's happening around it. Like, Kona is a better experience in my opinion. Long Dark is a better experience in my opinion from a gameplay perspective. Like, there's a lot of games that are in this genre that are like wilderness, you're alone, you're experiencing a story around you. My
problem with the two of those is they're walking sims, but they're way more action oriented. Like, Long Dark is hard. That's what I'm saying, is if you're not looking for that experience, if you're looking for a walking sim, then like, those games are way more involved.
Play Journey.
That's true. Journey's another good example of that too. But like I said, walking sim wise, Edith Finch, I would definitely recommend Edith Finch over this. For sure.
Here's my problem. I can't tell you what, other than I remember the climbing sections where you have to like do the rope around something and climb down. I can't tell you what the like mechanics of this game are. Like, I know that you click on things and there's like the dialogue option tree that you have of like report, don't report, right? Like you interact with things, but I can't tell you. No, that's how you play. Like, you like go to objects and there's like the little yellow options on the side, and that's like
I do remember that.
But like outside of that, I couldn't tell you how to interact with the Firewatch, like what the mechanics of this game are. Like other than walking around and doing,
it is just walking around, because you're just more or less being taken to the story. You're going up and down the watchtower. You're walking to different points of interest, using your compass and everything too. And
I think that's why it's like what you said is like so justifying why it's a C for me, because it's like it's about the story, but the story doesn't carry it enough to put it any higher than a C. So I don't know. That's where I am. I don't know.
I'm fine. I'm fine with C above Frog Fractions, though. I think this is better than Frog Fractions.
That's my caveat.
So one of the things that, not to use the AI overview, but we're crunched for time, and I'm not going to read through Firewatch analysis. But one of the things about this game is absence of failure, no health bars, stamina, death screens. The game focused purely on narrative progression. Like that, I get how that is enticing for some people, especially like non-video game focused individuals, where it's like, oh, well, there's no stakes. But like, I do think at a certain point, a fear of failure or repeating something like that does aid in making the experience better, which is something that Kona and fucking Long Dark and all of those other games that are like survival games that have. Like, that's the point, is like, balancing understanding the story with also like trying to stay alive in an inhospitable environment. But
yeah. Okay.
So where are you at? Are you at a
it's
C
fine with
above
C
frog,
above
below
frog?
I mean, C is fine.
But where do you put it, above or below
You can put it above frog fractions. Okay. It's fine. We're not gonna hurt my feelings.
I didn't know how invested in this you were.
Yeah, exactly.
I love frog fractions.
Okay, so moving on to our next game, which is probably going to be an interesting one. This is our biggest. This started our big controversy, right? This is the first game we played that was recommended by someone else. Shout out to Keith from the Main Quest podcast.
Just Chrono Trigger.
No, he recommended us playing Super Mario RPG. So this was Mario RPG. This is also our longest series. We did like 9 episodes of Super Mario RPG. This went through like mid-summer or whatever on the podcast. This does have a couple episodes that are high up in the show, probably because people were excited for us to play this and then listen to it, and they were like, "What the hell? Never mind. I don't want to listen to these guys." Yeah. But historically, we are very low. Yeah, let's keep the meme of it out of the equation. Honestly, going back and thinking about the experience with Super Mario RPG, even though there was a lot of friction and disappointment for me personally on my own personal aspect, because I love the Mario RPG series so much, like Mario and Luigi and the Paper Mario series, I played this afterward. And I don't think that Mario RPG was ever going to live up to my expectations of Thousand Year Door, original Paper Mario, or any of those in the first place. So going in, I think that was already going against this game, but it also did have a couple of things that were frustrated in its gameplay, and God, the music that's very repetitive in the battle music. But thinking about
3 years later,
retrospectively, thinking back to this game, one, I actually do really want to replay it. They just remade this game, and I would love to replay this with some quality of life stuff.
Talk? Or you like?
No,
the way he's practicing self-harm. He's like, I want to play this again.
I want to play this. But I think at the end of this and thinking about my experience, it is somewhat enjoyable. Like, I'm thinking C tier for this.
Absolutely not.
I'm thinking low C, high D for Super Mario RPG.
So to add to that, okay, none of us had played Super Mario RPG before. It has become, like you said, very controversial.
One of the two controversial opinions.
Yep.
I will say this: I wouldn't put it at an F, okay?
No,
because I feel like there is some enjoyment from that game. Mallow is a fun little dude.
Love Mallow.
It introduced. I know we're not talking about cultural significance, but it introduced the kind of Paper Mario formula, and it introduced the blocking of the attacks and stuff like that that came into it. I made notes as to what Kai was saying as to what the different tiers were and stuff. D, bad outweighs good. I think that's where I am with Super Mario RPG. I feel like if somebody said, I want to play Super Mario RPG, my first question would be, have you played Paper Mario? Have you played Thousand Year Door? Have you played this, that, the other? Like, I would not be recommending this to somebody as a first time introduction into the Super Mario RPG like formula, Paper Mario formula, whatever you want to call it.
See, that's interesting because I think I would, because then it only gets better from there. Like, start here and then it only gets better.
Time is valuable. If you're gonna put 60 hours into an RPG, do it in something that's good. Don't play something because it's the to Ben's point, it's the like ocarina. Like,
this game's 12 hours, by the way.
Well, it felt like a fucking eternity.
I'm sorry. I said we'd keep the meme into a bit. It felt longer than 12.
Yeah. We did 9 episodes. We did 9 weeks of
How do we do 9 episodes of 12-hour game?
I don't know, man.
Anyway, the point is that like Ocarina is great, but Breath of the Wild is objectively better. And Super Mario RPG is bad, and Paper Mario is not only objectively better, but mechanically better. Like it does every aspect of it better, and it stays within the IP, which is the only redeeming quality. Because the reality is, if that Super Mario RPG was any other IP, let's take it at its face value of like something like fucking like the Star Fox Adventures, right? Where they just like, let's say that it was the dinosaur world, and instead of skinning it as Super Mario, they skinned it as some other. Like, no one would fucking play it. It's not a good game. Like, you know, like it's a mediocre RPG in a sea of 90s RPGs that are, you know, levels better than it, but it withstands because it's Mario. People love Mario.
Yeah, but I also think that
Yeah.
like that helps it because it's different than the normal absorption
if
of this game,
you're-
right? It's a
but
different
I think-
version of this characters.
I think the thing though is that I'm trying to not Mario RPG really relied on the fact it was a Mario franchise.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think as well, it was that kind of combination, wasn't it, between like Nintendo and Square,
Yeah.
and it had everything going for it. I just don't think it delivered. I'm not saying there are good elements to Super Mario RPG.
I think so too.
Here's the other thing. If Nintendo thought it was good or successful, Malo would be in fucking every Mario Party here
Malo
in
in
Dust
Smash
Force.
would.
Put Malo in Smash.
Malo never got put. Actually, none of the other characters from Super Mario RPG got
people
anywhere.
have been dying for fucking.
Who was that fucking not Johnny Sins? What's the
Johnny
shark's
Sins?
name?
Bad support
What
star.
was the shark's name?
His name was just Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bad support
What's
star.
Don't look at my
Gino?
search history.
Gino? Is that the robot's name?
Gino was really fucking mid for me. Johnny was where it was at.
Johnny Sins.
Johnny was a fucking great boss.
Oh yeah, Johnny was. I love Johnny.
And that fight where he's like Mario like 1v1 me basically.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I think it's just all of the when we talk about the bad stuff, I think as well it was like the way they portrayed Bowser. Like I really wanted like I remember the one thing I remember about the game was that we spent the whole series A dunking on the game, but also B being like, where's my character development? Where is the Mallow character development?
Well, and I think
Where's
that
the
came a
Bowser
lot from
development?
my 1,000-Year Door experience too. Is like that because that game has a lot of depth to it, and there was just less so here. I'm fine with the majority because I'm not using my veto on this.
Okay.
Although it's close.
Veto...
Although it's close. It is close.
Really?
But it's not close enough because
he's pandering to the haters in our audience.
Yeah.
No. I think as time has gone on, I've kind of like reshaped my opinions on this, and it was so much so because I want to replay it to kind of get a fresh take on this too.
Well, here's the other thing. If I'm going to tell someone to play this, play the remake.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, don't play the original, play the remake.
I will say,
so there you go.
I distinctly remember Keith played the remake and then came into our Discord and was like,
he was like, yeah,
okay, it's not as bad as you guys were saying, but it is bad.
Yeah.
And if the guy who recommended it said it's bad, then
the person who's like, you have to play this is like, this isn't very good.
So we're putting at D.
I'm happy with D. D feels, I mean, like a high D. Like, but
because look, if you're because here's my thing: if you're a diehard Mario fan and you want to play everything in the Mario franchise, play it. Because F is like you should never put yourself.
Yeah, I think you should still play this for sure.
And emotional labor of having to play this. But D is the bad outweighs the good, and the bad definitely outweighs the good in this game.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the definition of the D tier.
Okay. Super Mario RPG. I'm not willing. My is so marginal because I said high D to low C that I'm not willing to veto for.
I already
just
know
up like a couple points.
No, you gotta. It's gotta be a 2.
Yeah, it has to be like a 2-tier gap. I'm like, there ain't no way this is going this low. So okay. So moving on was our next interstitial in here. We played through Doom 1993, and honestly, I feel like when we were talking about it, like good game. I feel the original Doom holds up pretty well for all the Doom games and everything. It actually kind of harkens back to this very fun just run and gun gameplay where they've added a lot of narrative beats now, which haven't really landed as much. So obviously Doom being the original has a lot of the DNA of this kind of shooter that it is, almost so much so that it has its own like genre of shooter that came out of things like Doom.
The Doom clone, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not only even that, it's that a game that is this old and this influential is still
good.
as fun today.
Yeah.
Like there are just games where the mechanic is so simple and so fundamental to how we play games and like how games are made that it just like it is evergreen.
Yeah.
And Doom is one of those things. A rail shooter with cool fucking enemies and good level design. Like, it just works.
Yeah.
It works in any graphic style. It works in any, fucking ability to like all the different weapons and Doom. Like, it's just good.
And especially because Doom is set up in kind of like a level, get a score at the end type of game. It's very easy to just jump in and play a little bit and jump out. If you like a little bit of Doom, jump in, play like 30 minutes of Doom, jump out. And it like that back and forth holds up so well.
I think go on.
I was going to say my gut reaction for ranking place, but you can go ahead.
So all I was going to say was like, as above, everything you guys have said, gameplay slaps, music fucking slaps, super approachable. It's got that right level of difficulty where like it's hard, but it's not too hard, and it's kind of almost got like a one more run kind of feel to it. Gut reaction, S tier.
Oh wow.
I would also put it in S. I think it's one of those things that if you love, like, it is, if you're a gamer, you want to claim you're a gamer, play Doom. It's gonna be a great time. You're gonna have fun, and you're gonna have like, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is why they still fucking make Doom to this day.
This is
it's
one of those
great
games
idea
where like you can say to anybody, all you do is this moves, this shoots, this changes weapon.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Anybody can play Doom, and if they do, they will have at least a somewhat positive experience, even if they're not a gamer. Jared is contemplating whether he agrees it's an S tier or.
My problem is
he's contemplating putting it over Ocarina.
my problem is this. I'm looking at these games, and we have 2 vetoes, and I think there's very few games where the 3 of us have differing opinions.
That is not true. Just wait.
I'm saying that like that are that like I'm thinking of like tier list, like high, like you said, like if it's like 2 ranking, like even the Super Mario RPG, like I was just within a rank. I was not even that like half a point from where you guys were thinking. So it's like I don't know if there's that many like this. Honestly, my veto would be to move it down to A. I'd be putting it in between Ocarina and Kentucky. Because I do think I like this better than Kentucky, but I don't know if I like this better than Ocarina. But I don't know if I'm willing to use a veto.
Save your. There's gonna be opportunity for you to use those vetoes.
But the thing,
don't
like,
you worry.
Yeah, the things that I'm passionate about, I don't know if you guys would put low though. Is the problem?
Name them. Let's see.
Well, no, hold on. I don't want to bust my load too early here.
Can I ask? Just looking at this.
Yeah.
And did we play Hellblade 1 and 2 for the pod?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there only one Hellblade on there?
I believe so. It's just Senua's Sacrifice. It's just one.
We do this one's Saga. This picture here is Saga. Did we do both of them? I think we did do both of them.
Maybe we did do both of them.
Hold on. Don't worry. We'll Benji, you can cut all this out.
I've put a flag. I'm good.
Oh, I was gonna clap.
I feel like
talking about year did we play through?
Because we played Senua really early in the podcast, and then I know we played the second as my main series.
No, we didn't do it because I did Hellblade with Nave for a Get Wrecked. We didn't do it for main series.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn. Okay, we must have all just played it simultaneously, like at the same sort of time.
Yeah,
I think that's why we played 2, is because we all liked 1 so much.
Yeah,
so we were like,
I think for me, Jared, like, I mean, first of all, majority, me and Kai have both said S. So,
so I don't, unless I'm ready to veto, that's where it's got to go. So I mean,
but I think also like, I think I know you like comparing it to like Ocarina and stuff, right? Like, Ocarina's got the majority good, a little bit of bad. There isn't really anything bad about Doom 93.
Yeah, but it's also just I like Zelda.
You just don't want to put it above Ocarina.
I don't want to put it above Ocarina. I personally like Ocarina better than Doom. I think Doom is great.
But once again, personal feelings aside, you hand someone Zelda and you hand someone Doom, who's never played any video games ever. Which do you think they're able to grok and enjoy quicker and have a better experience with no knowledge previous?
Yeah, but see, I think Doom, but I think people haven't
learned to enjoy Ocarina.
People have, I was gonna say people will have. I think people have an overall better experience with. I think Ocarina has more substance and quality overall than Doom does.
Sure. I'm not doubting that, but there's definitely S is a must-play experience.
I agree. I think it's a must-play experience.
Once again, I think if you're gonna here's the thing: if you're gonna play any of the Doom games, playing the first Doom game is pretty cool. It's like,
going
damn.
complete opposite what we were saying about Super Mario RPG. Like, jump into the original one. It's fine. Like,
Yeah,
it still
it's
holds
fun.
up.
It's fun to play the original Doom game, and you're not going to really get that much more out of the new ones, other than it's like graphically way more impressive, and you're like, wow, look at how far we've come.
16.
But Zelda,
16 is good.
Zelda is not that way, where you're like, oh, play Ocarina and then go to Breath of the Wild. If you grew up on Breath of the Wild and you go to Ocarina, you're going to be like, the fuck is this? This is horrible. So it's like, there's something to be said about a game that withstands all of that time and is still a enjoyable experience mechanically.
And don't get me wrong, there is some like poor Doom games. Doom 2016, I think, was like the closest that people were saying to remake and kind of reintroduce that feeling of OG Doom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine. We'll keep it at S. I don't have a problem with it. I agree with you. I just have the problem with Ocarina. If Ocarina was an S, then I'd be like, sure, they can both live up there happily. That's fine with me.
They're both S tier games.
Okay, moving on to the next game, which we may have some differing opinions on this, but this was A Plague Tale: Innocence is the next game that we played for the podcast. We're still in the first year of the pod.
You want to talk about games where we have wildly differing opinions?
I'm not willing to use my veto on Plague Tale, though. I'm well, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how the conversation goes first. I'm kind of gonna have you kind of like spearhead this, because I know that you didn't like this game.
No, I don't like this game. Here's the thing that frustrates me the most about this game is the beginning and the setup of this game is fantastic. The environment is beautiful. The story is incredible. You're a young girl and a boy who are royalty in a time when there's upheaval and you're separated from your parents, and the whole thing is about like, how are you going to survive this plague in this new world? Like, it's a genius idea. It's great. And then for some fucking reason, they're like, that's great. We have a great story. But what happens if we just do batshit insane things? Like, make the entire game based around the
magical realism bad.
But it's not even like, oh, there's a rat section. It's like the rest of the game becomes rat mechanics of the game. It's like, there's seas of rats, and then you have to use fire to like navigate around rats. Everything just becomes centered around rats, which, like, I get it. I get that, like, historically in the plague, rats were the thing that like made that happen. But like, it wasn't the danger of rats is that it was singular little things that you couldn't avoid. Not that there was like seas of rats that you had to navigate through. And it just was like, it took away from the entire experience of this like great idea that they just ruined by being like rat tornado. Like, it was so frustrating. I would honestly put this somewhere between C and D, probably closer to D. And then I'm like, it's fine. I mean, they made a sequel, so people obviously liked it, and I'm wrong in my opinion. But really I'm steadfast in the fact that like, it would have been a better game if they would have focused less on the rats and more on the storytelling and experience of the game.
I agree with you to an extent, right? I think that the idea of this setting is really cool. I think there's not really many games that play with, at least in this setting, there's a lot of games that play with actual history, but they're in more turn-based stuff or tactics RPGs and everything. There's very few that are like narrative-driven. Kingdom Come Deliverance is another one that's more narrative-driven. But I think maybe what they were trying to convey is how big of a deal the plague was in this. So like, if we just have a sea, we can visually show you how scary it was during this time, but actually having like a sea of rats that you have to like run around. But I agree that the rat tornadoes are a little weird. So I mean, spoilers for Plague Tale if you haven't played this game. It's been out.
And there's rat tornadoes. Also, the best parts of Plague Tale, the best mechanical sections are where you're doing the sneak and hide through the towns,
using like the
where you're like
to knock out
using the slingshot to like navigate through the guards. You have your brother, you have you have to like both. It's like the best version of a like partner, like
co-op escort mission.
Co-op escort mission. It's like that. And then there's just like, you're like, wow, that was an incredible experience. I'm so glad we did it. And then there's just rats. That's the whole next section is just walking through rats.
Hugo's a kind of whiny bitch the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, but children
he's
suck,
he's a child during the plague, so I guess that's fair. So
I think I'll be honest, I'm leaning towards like high B, low C. Wait, no, low B, high C, sorry.
I think I'm around there with you too.
Can we put it below Frog Fractions? That's all I care about.
I'll
put it in C because I want it in D, but I'll put it in C as long as it goes below Frog Fractions.
Ooh, actually,
if I'm putting it in C, it'd have to be above Firewatch.
But see, I wouldn't put it above Firewatch. I'd put it in between Firewatch and would I? No, I would put it Shit. Yeah, I think I'm with Kai. I would put it below Frog Fractions in the C tier. See, this is the issue too. Is like I think looking at our criteria, it reigns B for me. But how we're gonna be chalked is I don't think it's better than Firewatch. Like it's definitely not better than Firewatch for me.
I think that's the thing, is kind of like Kai said, like it peaked at like the first 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this entire kind of like you said, like story of like these orphaned royals who are like having now to like basically muck their way through where the peasants live, and the rat thing's weird, and it's really annoying because when you play the second game, it makes a lot more sense, and that becomes a lot more kind of central to what the plague is and how it works and everything.
Yeah.
And they never really explored it enough in the first game.
It is funny to be like, there wasn't enough rats. That was my other problem with the sequel. They were like, we're going to double down on the rats.
It's not that there's not enough rats. There's not enough context on what the fuck the rats. I think that's where it's missing. Where the sequel kind of has strides. It answers a lot of those questions of just like, why are we doing this in the first place? It's like, oh, okay, this makes kind of a lot of sense now. They do, again, lean more towards the little, supernatural kind of aspect to this, but at least it makes a little more sense into. We're starting with this first one of being, I can see what you're saying, we're being more historically accurate and then leading into the weird. In some games that subversion works, but in this one, I think, like you were saying,
it's annoying because in the second one, there's literally like an explanation as to like why Hugo is the way he is, and then how it all plays into everything else, and like
how the rats got off the island never really got explained. But we're not going to talk about how the rats they just swam underneath the ocean.
There's rats everywhere, bro.
That's true.
It's just such a fascinating thing because it's like one rat level would have been great, like even an insane rat level,
even
a
plague tale,
even rat tornadoes, I would have accepted if they were just one section, because it's like a hyperbolic explanation of how terrified people were of rats during the play.
For sure.
Like it is a representation of people's fears. But to double down and make the entire 75th end of the last 75% of the game rat focused, it's just like, what? Why?
I will say there is definitely a power fantasy towards the end where you feel weak the whole time and you're just like throwing rat tornadoes at people. Feels good, like mechanically to play.
I have to yield. Okay, like Jared yielded and put Doom in S tier. I will yield. I'm happy with it in C tier. I don't think it should be below
Firewatch and Frag Fractions.
But
fine. I will also yield and put it beneath Firewatch.
I think that's a good compromise.
Just know that I spiritually disagree, and I would rather play.
You can use your veto if you want. You're more than welcome to use your veto.
Once again, I'm not using a veto to move something within a category. That's an insane behavior.
Plague Tale runs in like the 20s in our episode ranking too. I think it's like 20, 21 or so. So it's still like out of all the games we've played, which is a lot, it's still not bad. Okay, next up on here too, we are in October of 2021. Still, this is all first year of the pod, by the way. This is wild. This is going to be a good one, and I think we're probably all on the same page. Maybe not, but it's That Dragon Cancer. So we played through That Dragon Cancer, which Ben, if you don't know, do you want to give people a little synopsis of like kind of what the game's about?
Yes, it started off basically as a means for this couple. They were a developer couple whose kid was diagnosed with cancer, and it started off as like a means of escaping and kind of processing everything that was happening with their kid being diagnosed and going to treatment and everything like that. And then unfortunately their child did pass away, and it kind of remained that, but also came a testament to their child and his life, and kind of like what parents go through when they have a child who's diagnosed with cancer. Essentially like a walking sim, like a generational walking sim, I guess. Is very much about exploring the kind of the story as opposed to action or anything like that. I gut reaction, I did really fucking enjoy it. I do think it is a really good experience. It struggles like mechanically, but I like the kind of message that it brings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My gut, if I'm being honest, my gut is like a low B, high C.
Crazy.
Oh wow, I was gonna go even a little higher than that.
What? I did not like this game. This is D or Honestly,
Ooh,
F.
I don't think
But
this is. You say Aussie F?
yeah, like look.
Wow.
I think a lot of what carries this game is that the narrative behind it is sad, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, my child died, and like, sure, yeah, but that's not justification to make art. Like I get that it's their grieving process, but the game itself I did not connect with it all. I mean, I can't really remember what my opinion was at the time, but I think given time, I've fallen even farther away from this game, given the amount of indie games in the space that take very dark topics and do it really well. Are you listening to what my opinion is?
Yeah, I was trying because each like Spotify now has like clips from each episode, so I was just listening to a clip to see if I could get any. I can get any semblance of
Guys,
your
like,
thoughts
this is
on
the
it.
best thing I've ever experienced.
No, I remember not liking it that much when we
Yeah.
finished it. Really, A and B. That's
No,
crazy.
whoa, no, I said B and C.
Yeah, but he said even higher.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, part of it, my gut wants to put it high, but my gut wants to put it high because it's about a real child who had cancer and died. Like, if I
Yeah.
remove myself from that a little bit, and if I look at like the game mechanically and how well it kind of portrayed, what I'm looking at is how well did it portray the emotions of the parents, how well did it
Yeah.
portray and make me and put me in a position where I understood or empathized with what it was like to go through what they were going through.
Yeah,
I think overall it did a good job of that.
Yeah, I think now that hearing you talk about it a little more like that, I think I'm willing to go. Or I'm rather my more accurate reaction is C and B, especially looking at our rankings too, because there definitely is very specific people I would recommend this to. Right, this is like a sad game, so either someone that either can relate to the experience specifically, someone that is wanting to have interesting conversation in this kind of context, like content creation, I think is another thing. But obviously, for the everyday person, no one's gonna be playing that Dragon Cancer. So I honestly find like high C, low B. I think looking at this, I think I might put this in between Firewatch and Plague Tale.
That's where I was looking.
I'm listening to all of our opinions. None of us liked this game.
What? How would you just do a random point in the game?
I just started listening at an hour 14 at our synopsis at the end. And we all agreed that like there's other games that do what they tried to do better, and we all feel bad that this kid died of cancer, but the game itself, we were all very confused at a lot of the mechanics in this game. I remember a wheelbarrow section where we had to navigate through a kitchen, which was very confusing.
I do remember that. Yeah, the little like race car throughout the the hospital, the Mario part.
Like it's hard to Ben's point. It's hard to separate the fact that like this is a journal of someone's grief through their child dying of cancer. And while that is very compelling, as far as the gameplay itself goes, it doesn't really, the thing that we all said at the end is that it doesn't really translate to us experiencing that. It's like moments from their life where they have some form of emotional connection to it, but it doesn't translate to the player because we aren't there. We don't know the kid. We don't know the context of what the wheelbarrow means or what the images in the house mean at the beginning of the game. Like there's just a lot of things that it feels very personal, and it feels weird to be part of that when you're not knowledgeable of that. Like it feels like reading someone's diary, right? And it's like that feels uncomfortable in a way where you're like, I still. Also, why are you both called Benji? I just noticed this.
Oh, because I recorded using the studio the other day and changed my name.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, I don't know.
I'm slowly taking over.
That being said, I still think I feel the same. I might actually move, in my opinion, it down in between Plague and Frog Fractions.
People hated Frog Fractions. This is crazy.
I mean, it was fine, but it's not like.
Do you not remember being the president of Bug?
No,
Bug
I remember. I can't
making money with making bug porn.
I think this
we all laughed.
Yeah, but we love a sad boy game here, and regardless if it's done well, this is a sad boy game, and that has weight to it. And I think I'm thinking in C tier, in between Plague Tale and Frog Fractions.
I want the record to show that it should be above Super Mario RPG in D tier, but that's fine.
Hey, we have to do a majority, so we got to figure out something. Ben, what are you feeling?
I'm just thinking how it's interesting how like over time I've kind of empathized with it more.
That's what I was thinking too.
To be honest, I think a big part of it is I've changed my career, and like kind of gone into more like empathetic care work, and maybe that's why I'm kind of thinking about it more from like the empathy point of view. I definitely don't think it's D tier because
I don't think the bad outweighs the good.
No, I think the game has bad mechanics and there is a lot that is lost in translation, but I think overall, the experience that it gives outweighs those bad things. So I think, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think C tier at the bottom. I think Frog Fractions is a better game than Dragon Cancer.
Do you know what's crazy is that this is described as a Christian video game.
We talked about a religion a lot during this episode.
But I didn't really get that it was like, you know, like a relation with God is one thing, but being like fundamental Christianity.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's weird. Yeah, I don't remember like themes of that. I remember us discussing that because Ben talked about like afterlife and this idea of clarity and everything, but I don't think that was innately he had to do with any themes that were directly connected to the game.
I think after talking with Kaya then and stuff, I think C tier at the bottom.
Okay, I can meet you there. I'm fine with that. Where the hell is
I'm just glad something got placed below Frog Fractions. Some respect on Frog Fractions' name. I love that game.
This is going to be another one where I think we all have a majority of thinking that we like it, but where to place is going to be interesting. The next game we played, still in 2021, is Resident Evil Village.
I think there is no other game that belongs solidly in B tier than Village.
That was my gut reaction too.
It is just okay. It is the perfect 7 out of 10 game where you're like, okay.
I think I'm a little higher on it than you because I think I can see it as a low A for sure. But I'm loose with this, where I can feel like I'm the same.
My thing is 7 is so much better than Village in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah,
it's so much scarier. The narrative's better. It's fucking weirder. Like Village.
I mean, the things we liked about Village was the things that are the most similar to 7, like the house and the dolls and everything. Like
exactly.
That part was the best part of Village, and that's more akin to 7.
Lady D.
And Lady, we
love a big lady with big tits.
Although,
and I'm not afraid to say.
I do remember us all being kind of disappointed that we all thought that she would have been more integral part
of the narrative. She was not. She was not very
she was
much.
The entire marketing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was why. Like there was no what was his name? Fucking Winston or something like that. The
Winston?
Wesker? Who was the farmer? No, not West. Who was the farmer guy who like turned into the giant mech?
Oh,
was it Einstein? Was it something like that? He had some weird ass name.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg. Well,
I mean, Einstein is the closest out of those guesses, I guess.
That is another German scientist. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 8 is like B below Metal Gear Solid.
I would agree.
Ooh, I would have put it
above. Do not tell me you think that fucking Village is a better game than Metal Gear Solid.
I think 7 is a better game than Metal Gear Solid. I don't think Village is better than Metal Gear Solid. I could contend with that.
I think that's a fair, but
yeah, I guess you're. I just keep thinking about Metal Gear Solid 2, and that is just so much better than the first one. But that's not what we're talking about. I know. But
yes.
but 2 is just, it has the recency bias in my brain.
Well, don't worry, we'll get there, and you'll be able to put it wherever you.
I think the thing with 8 was that like the section with Lady D was great. The section with the houses of dolls was great.
Yeah,
fucking Murgo or whatever his name was, the weird fish dude was a really weird section. Yeah, and then all of the stuff with Heisenberg
was weird too. Okay,
it was really strange. It just didn't feel as well-rounded as Metal Gear does. Metal Gear is strange, but it's well-rounded compared to Village.
I think it also suffers from like, I don't think that the like medieval. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not technically medieval, but like
the castle and like
like that environment for a Resident Evil game is not like the most interesting part of Resident Evil. I think the most interesting part of Resident Evil is like creepy city, dirty, like underground areas,
Raccoon cities.
Yeah, like kind of grimy, like cityscape. This felt like It almost felt like it was supposed to be, you know, like a fucking
Spin-off or
Van
something.
Helsing game rather than it was supposed to be a Resident Evil.
It is.
game.
It is a good Van Helsing game. I mean, so much so that 9 harkens back to the original.
It would be the best Van Helsing game, but it is
the only
not.
one. Okay, I'm fine with putting Village under Metal Gear in B tier.
Down a little bit more.
I see. Village is down by
Village.
Okay, so next up on the list is, hold on, I'm still scrolling. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting one. So the next game that we played is November 2021. We played through 12 minutes, and oh man, did this game kind of disappoint all of us when we played it, because there was so much. We love Annapurna, we love indie. There was a lot of strong
Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe.
There was another person in here. It was the X-Men guy, or
let me tell you,
he plays Professor X in the older X-Men, or the newer.
Or like
it's James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
It's not.
Willem
Dafoe, James McAvoy, and Daisy Ridley.
As much as this pains me, 12 minutes is a D tier game.
That's crazy.
I tell you why, because I'd put it above Super Mario RPG because it deserves recognition for the things that it tried to do, and it tried to have that time loop, and it tried to have you going through. So for anyone who doesn't know, like, the idea is you are a man whose wife dies in front of him in their apartment, and then you're essentially in a time loop where you have to get clues. And actually, now I've changed my mind, it's a C tier.
I was thinking C. That was my initial thought, was around the C.
You have to get clues and basically try and stop your wife's death. And at first, when I stopped there, I was like, that's D tier. But then I remembered that there are different things you can do. You can, like, hide in the closet so that the man who comes in doesn't
so many
know
different
you're there.
endings. Yeah,
you can break out of the fucking cable ties he puts you in. Like, you can do all of these different things. I think because C tier is enjoyable but just more good than bad, I think I've talked myself into C tier.
Yeah,
but like mid C tier.
That was my initial reaction was this, and for everything you were just saying is I think there was a lot of hype on this game. It didn't lead up to a lot of hype, but I think that the loop system and how different the loops can be and what you had to do to solve some of these puzzles were interesting. Ultimately at the end, it wasn't a great payoff towards the end, but I think overall I liked more than I didn't. Okay.
Counterpoint.
Okay.
One of the things that I have consistently said on this podcast for the last 5 years is there is nothing worse
lost potential
than potential that is not met. Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy, and Willem Dafoe, two of those people are some of the most famous and prominent actors, and one of them is Daisy Ridley. But you had Annapurna. You had what was the other fucking game that this person developed before this? Luis Antonio.
I don't remember.
Anyway, the point is that, like, there was so much potential. There's so, like, the time loop mechanic. Like, we saw this game announced, I can't remember whether it was E3 or like where we saw it, and this is so long ago that E3 was still a thing. But like, we were so excited for it, and it just did not deliver on any of the things that you thought it was going to deliver on. It was just like, it kind of just fell flat. It was kind of a bland experience. It all took place in that fucking apartment, and it was like,
I went back and listened to the clip from this, and the first like couple seconds or so, your quote was, "I don't think we're smart enough for this game." That's what you said.
Damn. All right. Well,
yeah, but I don't think that in hindsight, I mean, yes, the actors were a big part of it, but in hindsight, because of their performance and everything, they fell short. But it honestly wasn't that big of a hit on the game. Like, just their voice acting being somewhat marginal didn't hit on all the mechanical stuff that I did enjoy from 12 minutes as well. So I think for me, it's going right in between Plague Tale and Frog Fractions. For me, it's like right, and I think I liked it better than Dragon Cancer and Frog Fractions.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting, and I think I 100%.
You just want
100%
Frog
agree
Fractions
with
to be
you.
an S tier, Kai. You want
No, I don't want to be an S tier. I just from a gaming
Wants it top of
experience, if
C.
I sat down and had to play both of these again, I would enjoy Frog Fractions more.
You have 3
Like,
games below Frog Fractions. That's something.
I think for me, like, it has to be given some credit for the kind of ingenuity as to like the things you could do to try and solve the puzzle. Like I was saying about like
Yeah,
locking
for sure.
yourself in the wardrobe. I'm pretty sure there's like a way you can like pretend you're dead and then like stand up and try and confront the guy afterwards, and like you can even not go into the apartment. Like it, there has to be some credit given to the way that they were able to program that and make that a thing that people could do. So
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can let it any lower than like mid C.
Okay. Are we consensus? Are we fine with my middle in between Plague and Frog Fractions?
no, but I don't have a choice because I'm not going to use a veto. So.
Okay, you love to hear it, don't you? So right, man, C tier is making it's getting a little crowded over here.
Imagine if Frog Fractions had Daisy Ridley, Will Smith, and Dragon Ball. How good of a game it could have been.
That would be, you know.
Honestly, just to hear James McAvoy say bug porn is all I really want.
Yeah.
Remake when?
Exactly. So the next game, we are in November, and I think this is the last game of 2021 that we did, at least for the main Bug Club stuff. We've played through Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. We did a Nuzlocke of this game. I'm the one that recommended this. Honestly, it's funny because I've gone on record and saying I've loved Gen 4. Gen 4 I have a lot of nostalgia for. This game made me realize that I don't love Gen 4 as much as I thought I did. Like,
so
remakes,
are we basing this on the game, or are we basing this on the Nuzlocke of the game?
We're basing it just on the game because
cool.
once again we can't base it off of an experience that is nearly impossible for a lot of people. Like you have to have someone who's willing to play through BDSP with you and do a Nuzlocke. That's crazy.
But you can just we can base it off of just like your own experience through playing the game
initial feelings. I would say this because here's the thing. Is it the best Pokemon game in the franchise? No. So that would be in A, whatever that game is, which means we put it in B, and I think it's worse than Metal Gear, better than Village.
That was around my gut reaction was around there. I'd even be fine putting it below Village. I know I'm the Pokemon guy, so I should be like hyping this up more, but it's just I think the game itself maybe it was the hype around it and everything too. I do think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is a good remake. I think it's beautiful. A lot of people would put this in like F. Like so many people hate this remake, and I don't hate the remake. I think it's honestly it's the best looking Pokemon game. Like it is a beautiful looking game. But honestly, I didn't even. And if you haven't listened to it, I was like, I think you should because the ending when you fight Cynthia is a lot of fun. Note, I did not win, and I have not played it since then. But I've jumped into both Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum more since BDSP than BDSP. And if I'm more willing to jump into the original ones than the remake, like that says something about the remake. Yeah. And I have equal access to both of those. It's not like I don't have the game or anything like that. Like I can play both of those at any time, and I'm more. I guess the original.
From my perspective, I'm only taking this is the only Pokemon game on this list, so it's not like
there's another one.
What is the other one?
We did Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Oh, okay. These are two very equal Pokemon games on the list. Like there's no Emerald, and there's no we don't have the original Pearl to compare it to, right? Like so in a vacuum of these games where things belong, like. And once again, I love Pokemon. We've played Pokemon our entire lives. We still play Pokemon together to this day. So there is a little bit of that in my rating of like, well, you know, it's a Pokemon game. I'm gonna have a good time. I do think Diamond and Pearl are second in the line of best Pokemon games ever made. I mean, I love Emerald and I will always love Emerald, but that's more for nostalgia reasons. I do think Diamond and Pearl did some quality of life improvements that are good. I remember enjoying this. I know this is one of our most listened to series, which once again should not play a role in where this ends up, but it just happens to be something that obviously people really connected with. So like, I don't know. I would rather play in my thing like B. It's a good solid entry into the genre. It's not the best of the genre, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I would rather play this than Village. And that's not because I don't like Resident Evil or because I like Pokemon more. It's just like from an experience perspective, I'll have a better time if I play this than if I play Village again.
Yeah. It was kind of just like perfect time, space kind of thing, right? BDSP is our number one game on the show by a large margin. A lot of people told me have found our show through that series, but we also played it right when the game came out. The game came out like a week or so before we were dropping like our first episode. So like we were playing this game around launch, which helped get a lot of interest from the community and everything too. But yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I'm curious to hear what you think, Ben, ranking wise, but I'm fine to be
your first Pokemon game.
Mine, no. God,
you played
no,
Pokemon
no.
before that.
Oh, okay.
It's my first Pokemon game in a long time.
Yeah, so you hadn't played it in a while.
Yeah. My gut reaction was like the top of C. I'm happy with low B.
So putting it under Village.
I'm fine with putting it under Village.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's
use your veto card and move this up to.
Oh, it's fine. You put it under
and I think exactly like we've got like good but not great. Like I had a ton of fun playing BDSP, mostly because of the Nuzlocke, but the game itself and like the quality of life stuff, like it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine, but there's definitely better Pokemon.
My problem is usually these remakes are additive, and where they're adding more Pokemon, which they did, and more story stuff, but they stripped all the stuff from Platinum. All the quality of life stuff, all the cool post game stuff is just completely gone from this game. Which is
this the one that had the really weird battle tower in?
No,
is that Omega Ruby?
This is the one where you fly over the overworld.
Yeah, no, that's Omega Ruby.
Sucked.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
Clearly
honestly,
not very
honestly,
okay, I'm putting it at low B.
I don't remember enough about the difference between the two to have a non-partial fucking.
This one came out much later than Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby was 3DS. This was the Switch. So I mean, those are very. I mean,
sure.
Like 5 years. But honestly, it's kind of interesting to reflect on this. This rounds out year one of the pod, and I think this is very like
we had a strong first year.
This is very reflective of like us and even like how we approach games now, because we have like big things, we have personal picks, we have a lot of indies, we have some fan recommendations and things. Like this is a strong year one of the podcast that we have right now.
We set a good tone,
and it's only taking us an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's okay. This is going to be a long episode. People knew what it was going to be. This is a chunky one. Talking about games that are probably forgettable, but we started strong year. We started 2022 with Halo Spartan Assault. Do y'all remember playing Halo Spartan Assault at all?
F tier. This is
wait, hold on. Whoa,
no. It's not F tier.
I would never recommend this to someone, but I am like D tier for sure for this. This is this twin stick shooter.
What's
top down Halo.
Put it on a never recommend.
On what?
What's stopping putting it on a never recommend?
Oh no, this is F. This is not what I thought it was. This is F.
This is the top down like twin stick.
Yeah,
I think it's still
interesting. Twin stick mobile Halo game.
This was a dog shit game.
It was bad, but I would still people to play it. I'd be like, like it's fun. It's a fun time.
Because
it's a fun
there's
couple
so
hours.
many. Because here's the thing: if you're gonna play a top down twin stick shooter, there is hundreds of better
but
games.
people go to this because it's Halo, though. They want to experience Halo with this.
That's not the reason you should play it.
I guess so.
Because the thing about Halo is that if you're gonna play a Halo game, you want it to be a first person shooter. That's what it is. So like, why would you? It's the same. It's the same argument with Super Mario RPG, where it's like, if you want to play a Mario game, that's fine. But don't play the Mario game that isn't a traditional Mario game just because it's Mario. It's like there are other games that do this phenomenally better than Halo Spartan Strike.
Did I forget to put this on the list? You guys see this? Because I'm blind. I can't find Halo Spartan Assault.
I think it's the thing on the far right in the bottom.
This is X Defiant.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't fucking know. You're the one who made the.
I know, but I can't find Halo on here. Maybe I forgot to put Halo on here. That's how forgettable. Oh, no, I found it right here.
Okay, there it is.
It's right here. It's this another indistinguishable man with gun. Yeah.
Yeah,
if it's the majority, I'm not going to use a veto to put Halo higher than F. I personally would definitely recommend. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me run that back a little bit.
I would definitely recommend Spartan Assault, huh?
Somebody out there somewhere will enjoy it.
Yes, essentially. I would never say, like, if someone asked me if they should play this, I'm like, no, you should never play this. I'd give them the caveat of what it is, but I would never say never, you know? So
But
I
why?
don't know.
Yes,
Under
PSA, you
what
should never play this.
circumstances would you recommend
It's
this?
interesting. It's a bad, like, overall experience, but at least it's an interesting. Hold on,
Okay.
but it's at least an interesting divergent from what Halo is. Right, that's why they have things like Halo Wars, and it's just like taking Halo in a different context. I think is an interesting thing, and where Halo Wars definitely does it better and more successfully than Spartan Assault.
Wasn't there something about this that was really annoying because there was like in-game purchases? Wasn't that a thing? I remember talking about that.
Be surprised if that was the case. This did get a sequel, not a good sequel.
It was
but
very mobile coded.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an F tier, Jared. I'm sorry. It's F tier.
On the description, I put, "Why are these grenades so impossible to throw in this game?"
But it's an F tier above Intelligent Cube.
Yeah, that I will say.
And you can take solace in knowing that there's something below it, and there will be many things below it. Trust me.
I don't. Honestly, there's looking at this list, I can't even think of other F stuff to put in
That's
F that I would never
insane.
recommend. I mean, I wouldn't put.
You're gonna put Charlie's Angels, not an F tier. And I liked that game, and my ass is still putting it in F tier.
Right.
No one has to play that game.
I'll put Spartan Assault down in F tier, right above Intelligent Cube. Starting off 2022 with a bang here for the podcast. But speaking of a bang, the first main podcast game we did play through this, which was I think a great game. We played through Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which honestly, great. Like I loved
Damn,
this game.
Zelda is gonna be such a problem.
Yeah, Zelda is a big problem.
Because he will never allow anything to go above Ocarina in A tier, which means everything has to come after it.
I only get a couple videos, so I can only go so far. So my opinion only stretches so far.
Danganronpa is A tier.
100%.
Yeah,
it is
for sure.
Crazy Japanese visual novel where you're like a kid in a school and there's like a murder game and it's the last one standing wins and there's class trials and it's a fucking Japanese ass visual novel.
Yeah.
I think I like this better than Kentucky.
I like it better than Ocarina.
Whoa, okay, hold on. We ain't doing that. I will use a veto to go one slot in this.
That's crazy.
I'll move it down
one. You can't defend Zelda because you're going to run out of defenses because there are games in here that I'm going to put an A tier above Zelda or at least try to fight.
That's what I'm saying. I have to picture which one is important to me to move it.
I was compromising by putting it between Ocarina and Kentucky. If I was being honest, this is like the top of A tier at the moment.
It is one of the funnest games we've played for the podcast.
100%.
It is one of the most memeable,
sure.
memorable. So. The characters are like the dialogue is hilarious. No, you're wrong.
This made me interested in playing other visual novels. Like this got me like I want to play other things. I want to play more. This got me into the genre, which I get. I understand. I have a couple vetoes, I know. As long as Ocarina is like in the top 3 of A, I can live with that, right? I can put stuff above it.
In a minute, it'd be second.
I understand.
Because once again, here's the thing. We're going solely. We're not going on historical context. We're not going on. We're just going on. If I had to boot this up today, what is the experience? Would I have an S tier experience? Would I have an A tier experience? Yeah. What game would I enjoy more? Ocarina is nostalgia. But there's better Zelda. I would rather play Wind Waker. I'd rather play fucking Majora's Mask. I'd rather play fucking Breath of the Wild. Those are all games I'd rather play. If I was gonna play a Danganronpa game or a game like Danganronpa, I would play Trigger Happy Havoc again. That game's fun as hell. Yeah. It's a great 100%. Experience.
All those have very different feelings to me. I can boot up Ocarina of Time now and have a fantastic time, and I would still love it.
That's because you love.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking. That's what we're talking. I know. That's what we're talking about. That's what
we're trying to separate the nostalgia. Also, Ben feels the same way about Metal Gear as you play as Ocarina, and he has been very respectful in allowing it to be put in B tier. I mean, far below.
It's a B tier game.
Okay, well. Unless you're going to use your veto, there are 2 people here who feel that it should be above Ocarina of Time in A tier.
I'm fine. I guess I'm okay with that. Danganronpa also has. I don't disagree with you in the sense of Danganronpa being incredible. I love that game. Like I said, it got me into a genre which I can't say very much about a lot of the games on this list.
As far as video games in which people put a lot of effort to not only love the video game but also decorate their car and entire life around.
Seen a lot
Zelda
of
and Danganronpa are two
right there.
are right there in a very cult
Yeah.
status that is like,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. I conceive. I will put Danganronpa. Where is this?
You can see
guy?
his face right there. That's it.
Oh, sorry. Hold
Hey,
on.
whoa.
Wait, whoa.
Me too. It was a slip. A slip of the wrist. A slip of the wrist. Oh no! What's locked in?
Ocarina was fighting. It was like absolutely
Exactly.
not.
That's what it was. It was fighting me every inch of the way. Okay. Next up on the list, we have what was next? Oh yes. Okay. So this was, I think, Danganronpa was.
I hope you know, because neither of us.
This
do
was
have a
this
fucking
was
clue.
Ben's pick
That was my main
Danganronpa, and you
series,
also
yeah.
picked Simulacra as our next game that we played
Mm.
through. Honestly, if it wasn't for what's the other one we did? Immortality. Ooh, I don't know if I like Immortality better than this.
So can I jump in?
Yeah, you want to give a little
Because
like
this is
about this too, as you're talking about your feelings of what Simulacra
so
is.
like Simulacra is a FMV, a full motion video game, where you basically become in possession of somebody's phone, and she is missing, and you're trying to unlock certain details through her phone by like going through her messages, making contact with people. Be honest, it's a D tier game.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
It's a D tier.
But where
If I'm
indeed?
honestly, D tier below Super Mario RPG.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was below.
Um,
You like this better than Super Mario RPG?
Yeah.
Because
I'd rather- Because
That's
if I think
crazy.
about it as an experience, Super Mario. Once again, let's contextualize. Super Mario RPG is a game that was developed by two of the greatest developers on planet Earth in a genre that is so massive and so successful, and it still is a flop. Simulacra is a indie FMV game in a genre that is very tight. And yes, is it good? No.
Yeah.
But is it more interesting than Super Mario RPG as an experience? Absolutely.
I just want to clarify: Super Mario RPG was not a flop. Super Mario RPG was very successful. It just
No,
wasn't good for us.
Sure, I mean, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Super Mario RPG.
It wasn't a flop in 1995 when it came out. It is a flop by today's standards.
Sure.
But like we've played a lot of FMV games.
Yeah.
5 Hearts Under One Roof is an FMV game, which is
Mortality.
I will fucking go to bat for that
Yeah,
game.
which one of you would use your veto to put?
100%.
Yeah, 5 Hearts at S.
Exactly. I'm fine with putting it below Super Mario RPG. I don't
Yeah.
feel that way personally, but I can understand you both liked Super Mario
Yeah.
RPG more than me.
I think it's close. I think it is close.
I just think I remember playing this game and
It's not
thinking
close.
this did something really interesting. Like
Mm.
the idea of using
yeah.
a phone,
Phone.
as a way of interacting with a game,
Yeah,
like a
I feel
phone UI. Like I think that's really cool. And I don't think I mean I haven't seen anything else that kind of attempted that in the same way, which really lends itself well to FMV. So
not since. I mean, I don't know if Simulacra like started it, but there's been an increase since of like games that are like played through a mobile phone. Like you get somebody's phone and you're like doing investigating and like where they are or whatever. I think the reason I put it below Super Mario RPG is because like Super Mario RPG, the bad outweighed the good.
Yeah.
But with Simulacra, the bad outweighed the good, and there was lost potential. There was so much that could have been done with it that wasn't done with it. So I think it's close, but it has to be, for me, it has to be below RPG.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
aligned.
Simulacra.
Gavel.
Yes. You need to play along branded
E-tier.
gavel. I think we'll honestly all have a majority on this one because we hold this game so high. This was Kai's first pick for 2022. Disco Elysium.
I
It's
will
S.
use
S
both of
tier
my. It's above Doom.
You don't even need a veto. It's above Doom. Disco Elysium is incredible. Like
It's one of the
it's-
best games
yeah.
I have ever played.
100%.
It's probably the best game I've ever played, honestly.
It's you know, I mean, for anyone listening who doesn't know or has been like thinking about it, you essentially are. It's like an RPG with dice mechanics,
yeah.
and
like
you
D&D
play a
dice roll
cop who
mechanics.
wakes up the next day and is so hungover he has forgot who he is and why he's there. the game has like a really awesome environment. It's got brilliant storytelling. You've got that whole like subconscious thing that's happening, and the guy who voices the
Oh
subconscious
god,
has got
so
like
good.
one of the sexiest fucking voices going.
Kuno, eh?
Not him.
Kuno's
I love
in there.
Kuno's
Fucking
You
fucking
got Kim
amazing.
Ball.
Incredible voice acting,
Kim
incredible
Ball,
characters.
who's like probably the fucking best companion character in a video
all
game
time.
ever. Just like
It hits on all. It hits on
Disco
all fronts.
Elysium is like it's so close to being perfect. Like I actually can't think of something wrong with it.
We talked about how we were going to like categorize these tiers, and Ben, you used S as no notes. Disco Elysium is an example of no notes. I think, although let me just preface this that
no notes parentheses
notes. At the end of this game, we all did feel a little way about how they wrapped everything up. Disco Elysium is another game that talks about magical realism, and it does get a little bit weird towards the end, but that part did not even weigh at all into the decision of this being a perfect experience. Everything else is just so, they hit everything else so perfectly that this little bit at the end where it's like, that's a little weird, that didn't wrap up as the way I thought it would.
That was the thing.
Yeah, I do remember us talking about the ending and being like, the ending didn't really hit as well as we all had thought, but music, atmosphere, writing, the D&D mechanics of choice. This is a game that I haven't played since 2022, but I would, because you can have so different experiences. I think all three of us had varying experiences too, just because you can access things at different times. You can get more information depending on your die roll. You can be locked out of quest and information depending on your die roll. And I think that held so much weight in how we were experiencing the game that it just is just this love letter to, and emotional resonance. We talk about sad boy games too. This game also has emotional payouts, and there's a lot of human aspects that are touched on in here. It's, I mean, we yapped about Disco Elysium before, but it's an easy S tier. Yeah, this is one that I'll happily put above Ocarina.
Disco Elysium is one of those games where, like, if any part of you ever has wanted to play Disco Elysium, you should play it because you'll love it.
Even if you haven't played,
even if you don't,
just like just play.
Even if you're like, this is this is the other thing, because this is becoming less and less of a thing as video games become more prevalent. But there was a snooty, like, oh, I don't play video games. Video games are art, kind of bullshit. Like, that's a child's thing. Anyone who has that opinion, I would have them play Disco Elysium. The writing is better than most books written today. Like, the writing is incredible, the voice, the performances are incredible. Like, it is the thing I would use to convince someone that there is merit in this art form that supersedes any other art form. Yeah. Like, it allows an experience that you can't get anywhere.
I can and have seen this critique, which is and it makes it a little hard to recommend. Is this game better now because it's voice acted, but there's a lot of dialogue, right? There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of reading that happens in this. And I think Keith had some struggle with Disco because of things like that too. So if you don't like those things, it's going to be hard. But I think Disco is a game to get into games like that. I think it does it well enough, and it's written well enough where it can get you into those kind of experiences.
Play Final Cut. Play Disco Elysium Final Cut. That's the one with the voice acting and everything.
Yeah. Other than that, you're going to be doing a lot of reading, and I can see how that would weigh on people.
Also, just to call out, we are all well aware that Zom, the person who wrote this game, is an asshole and did some pretty shitty things to his team, and that, we're putting the game in a vacuum. Yeah. The artist, obviously an anarchist collective. A bunch of fucking unshowered anarchists are going to be annoying. They're annoying online. They're annoying in real life. So, it's not surprising that they had a fallout and that, there's some disagreements there. Assholes aside, still one of the greatest. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting going forward with their new game coming out next year. Something the Parades of Rain, the Stanley's parading.
My ass will be playing it.
I will be playing. What's it called, Kai? Please help me. I'm floundering.
The game is
1,000 Parades of
fucking Zom. Zero Parades.
Zero Parades. There you go. Thank you for saving.
They had a stupid fucking animation that had to play before their website loaded. So
so easy. This was an easy rank. Next up, going from different. It's so funny seeing these laid out because it's like someone listens to Disco Elysium and then the next episode comes out is the Oregon Trail. So it's just like this is a wild whiplash. This is going to be interesting because I know the Oregon Trail has a lot of like I know we're not ranking it on that, but a lot of like historical weight to it, and I think that I enjoyed what we played of Oregon Trail. And did we play the remake of it?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That's
It was
the
like
way
a
to do it, first of all.
89
Yeah.
remake, I think.
Yeah. Okay, here's my thing.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure this is my interstitial.
This was your recommendation, yeah.
I've played Oregon Trail since we recorded that podcast. It's one of the few games on this list
That's
that I've
crazy.
actually got. Yeah, because I watched a Twitch streamer play Oregon Trail again, and I was like, I'm gonna jump. It's one of those things that you can do it in like an hour. Like if you have a free hour and you're like, I don't know what to do with myself, you'll play Oregon Trail, and it's a fun time. And if you know the basic mechanics of Oregon Trail, like it's pretty easy to jump back into.
What's your gut placement so I can place it somewhere different?
my gut placement is bottom of B.
Okay, well that's where I was thinking.
It's okay. It's a good experience. If you're a very specific kind of person or you grew up playing it, it's fun. Unlike Doom, where you could hand it to an 8-year-old and an 8-year-old would be like, this is fucking sick. Doom is fun. Oregon Trail is not that.
Oregon Trail is not that.
It's historical. It's like, it's essentially a sim game where you're making decisions and that affects the simulation. There's like random number generation, like RNG things to it that make it very annoying, where you can just die from dysentery randomly, and that's a pain in the ass. Like, the hunting mechanics are not particularly good. Like, there's a lot of problems with it, but it is still ultimately one of the longest standing types of that genre, and people still enjoy it to this day, and it keeps getting remade for reasons. So I would put it below. I mean, you are unfortunately looking at the bottom, so I can't see what I would put it below Pokemon.
Yeah, I would put it below
Firewatch.
I would put it below Pokemon, but I'm also, if Ben feels one way about it, I'm fine with having this a high C and putting it above Firewatch in C tier and not necessarily in B. Like, it's better than those, but it doesn't quite cusp the good, not great. It's like right in between.
I'm happy putting it at the end of B tier. Just because I think there's something to be said about the level of enjoyment I had from a purely text-based game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can see that.
And so, yeah, I think I'm happy with low B.
And you get lovely, free, like, open source music of the time, which is all just like weird, like the national anthem and Old Lang Syne and just like wild fucking songs that they're like, oh, this is free.
This is copyright free music of the game.
Copyright free music of the 80s, which very cool.
Next up is my first recommendation for 2022. It's going to be an interesting conversation, but this is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. April of 2022, we played through Wind Waker.
Okay. All right, hear me out.
Okay,
I think this is S tier.
Okay, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think Wind Waker.
I think Wind Waker is my personal favorite Zelda game. Like, I understand that people love Breath of the Wild. They love open world games. Sure. And there's definitely a generation of people who are predisposed to enjoying those more. If I were to play a Zelda game from enjoyment alone, I would play Wind Waker. It is the perfect balance of original Zelda dungeon mechanic with a semi-open world experience where you still feel like there's some level of exploration. The art style is timeless. It will never not feel relevant and like something that you can jump into and experience. It maximized at the time what you were able to do on the GameCube. Like, it really just leveraged every possible thing it could, and it is, once again, I think it's the strongest Zelda game from like what we view personally as a Zelda game should be, as like a puzzly dungeon, poppy, childish, fun experience. The characters are fun. The way the game starts, the island, like, I don't know. I have a lot of flowers for that game in general. I think it's as close as you can get to what a Zelda game should be.
I don't disagree with you. And my ratings for a lot of these Zelda games might surprise you going forward. But I harken back to this kind of Zelda game, and
I also want to say it's above Doom. I just want to also say that, like,
I would have put it in between Disco Elysium and Doom, up in S tier. But no, Wind Waker is, like you said, it kind of marries this sense of adventure and narrative storytelling. I do want to just point out, just to hold us all accountable from our past thoughts from 3 years ago that we probably don't remember. We also commented on, I say we because I don't remember exactly who had the opinion of just how the ending of this game feels a little rushed, which it was, right? There was development issues with Wind Waker. They cut a ton of dungeons from the ending of the game, and it feels a little rushed towards the end. So pacing is a little weird with Wind Waker, but pacing aside, Wind Waker is incredible. I think I like Wind Waker better than Ocarina of Time, so I'm perfectly fine having Wind Waker up in S tier.
Now the problem is going to be when Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom gets involved.
Honestly, just not to spoil too much, but I don't think you're going to have as much resistance as you think.
Okay, well,
those games are great, but we'll get to them.
I'm a big fan of Wind Waker.
Ben, how you feel? This was your second Zelda game you played because it was Ocarina and then this one.
Yes. I wouldn't go so far as to put it at S personally. I definitely would put it above Ocarina. I think in terms of like the Zelda games of that time period, it is like the pinnacle. And I would definitely say like it's maybe on par, if not slightly just below Tears of the Kingdom for me. I'm happy as long as it's above Ocarina.
I don't care where it is, as long as it's better
I think it's a better experience than Ocarina. Yeah. I think it took everything that Ocarina did
with you.
and built on it. You know, the whole like being on the seas and having the boat and everything like that. I will say I do remember doing the
Triforce quest because you had the GameCube version.
Quest. Yeah, I had the GameCube version. I didn't have the HD version, which was a massive pain in the ass.
Yes, I will say caveat to this:
HD.
If you're playing the HD version, it's S tier. If you're playing the GameCube or OG version, it's B. It's high B.
Yeah,
because the quality of life stuff, the sailing speed that you get,
Swift sail alone,
those will make it significantly better. Also, they fixed like the Triforce charts, which are a lot easier in the HD remake. Like, and it just looks prettier. It's a better experience overall.
I still love, and we have it on our socials if you want to scroll down towards the bottom and look at it. But Ben talking about how he was having struggles trying to get the Swift sail, and him realizing as I'm telling him that is not in the GameCube version, and you being very upset about that is always
broke my heart. I still remember that.
Yeah. Okay, so Wind Waker between Disco and Doom.
Yeah, I'm happy with that for now.
As long as what title is this? The HD title?
This is HD.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it was my fuck up. I played the wrong version.
Yeah. This one's going to be interesting, and I don't have enough love for this game to defend it, even though I know a lot of people will be angry that I can't defend it. I do want to give it another try. But this is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, May of 2022. We played through Castlevania, and
I'm so sorry. This is D tier. This is D tier.
This is D tier between RPG and Simulacra.
Castlevania fans at home, I'm sorry. I don't have the power. I don't have the knowledge. I can't help you. I played this for a little bit. I didn't finish it. There's significantly better Metroidvania games now to play.
Yes.
Any Hollow Knight, all of those are better than Castlevania.
I think kind of like Kai said, between Super Mario RPG and Simulacra, for the same reason that like I wouldn't suggest somebody play Super Mario RPG. I'd suggest they play Paper Mario. I'd suggest somebody play a new Metroidvania, like a Hollow Knight or like a newer Castlevania or something. I remember really not enjoying this game.
It was not.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's an F. I'd say
no. I would not say. I wouldn't. I'd use my veto to put this not an F.
And I would not use a veto to put it in F. But
there you go. So I'm fine with putting this in between Simulacra and Super Mario RPG. This is definitely better than, or Mario RPG is definitely better than this, but.
Yeah, the bad outweighs the good in this game, which is the. And once again, this is always the problem because like you'll notice a theme, Castlevania, Super Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger. These are games that people have a very deep connection with and view as very important and very good experiences.
Absolutely, this is like how I'm feeling about Ocarina.
I am not a gamer that enjoys hard things. I enjoy feeling challenged.
Play Expedition on easy, by the way. Don't play Expedition on hard. It's hard.
Exactly. Like there is a masochism to these games, like Super Mario RPG, Castlevania, Chrono Trigger. Like people like torturing themselves, and they like being like, "Well, I'm a real gamer because it's hard." And like, sure, it's the same reason Dark Souls appeals to people. It doesn't appeal to me. So just understand that like. We recognize that there is a type of person who loves to be challenged, who loves to get in the minutia of like, how do I figure this very difficult thing out? None of us are really in that category. And I'm at the the lower end of that in general, of just like, I don't find that entertaining or fun. I don't find being frustrated an enjoyable experience.
And honestly, it's interesting because Metroidvanias are a genre that I'm not super familiar with, and I've enjoyed the ones I've played, but I don't actually gravitate towards them very often. I know, Ben, you did a whole Get Wrecked episode talking about 2 different Metroidvanias, and you love Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Forest and all those, which is one of them that I've played, but it's just a genre that I don't have much experience in. And maybe that's why again, like Kai said, I didn't grow up playing Symphony of the Night, so I don't have a lot of those emotions tied to it. But okay, we're all happy with In Between.
Yes.
Okay. Next one is gonna be interesting because I know we all did not like this game, and it was the missed potential. And honestly, Kai and I had a lot of game
issues.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like functioning issues. I don't know the word. But Martha is Dead, May 2022. We played through Martha is Dead, and honestly just disappointing more than anything. Like it's not even bad in its experience because of the quality. We had a lot of glitches and bugs in our version, but it was a cool concept. This whole idea of like a horror game, and there was like a camera aspect to this, right? There's like taking photos and using a camera. Yeah. And playing around with horror. And I'm pretty sure this game takes place in like, I don't know.
It takes place in Italy during World War II.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, like, and all that stuff is interesting, but it just doesn't land the way it should.
No. It's one of those things. It's like interesting environment. They try to tell an interesting story. And we played it in Italian. Like we played it in its natural language with subtitles, and like the performances were good. It didn't deliver on the thing it was trying to deliver on. And that's, once again, back to the having a massive amount of potential and then falling short of that potential. It's hard to recover from that. I would put this high D.
I had this like somewhere in the middle of D. I forgot this was also there's the whole idea of what are the daughters being deaf, because you're a twin sister, and there's like the deaf sister and everything.
And then the twist is that you killed the deaf. Not spoilers to Martha's Dead. It came out a long time ago, but you were pretending to be deaf.
It came out in 2022.
Yeah, we played it.
I played it 4 months after it came out.
Yeah, this was my recommendation. And it's a game I'd been watching and following for a long time. I'm a massive fan of Wide Productions, the people who published it. Gotta be honest, man, this is F for me.
Whoa.
Is your little tongue out? She's a little bled out. She look happy.
She looks paralyzed.
I wouldn't say F. That's far. I put it low D, but I wouldn't say never play. I don't think
for me
you'd ever recommend this to someone.
No, because for me the bad, there is good to the game, but the bad doesn't outweigh it. There is so much bad that I couldn't, in good conscience, recommend someone go and play.
The good for me is like setting. Setting's interesting. World War II, deaf twin sisters, one gets killed. Like that whole like setup is interesting, and that's good. But overall, bad outweighs good for me. It would be D. It would be D tier. I'd put it.
It was just very it's coming back to it. It's a very confusing game. There's too many. There's like 9 twists at the end where it's like, you killed her. Actually, you're not even real. You're just a manifestation of Julia. And like, no, actually, your mother's confession about her being the one who killed Julia. It's just like, it's too much. There's too much going on. You needed to take some things off the
F, I'm talking like high F. I would put this above Spartan Assault. So I'm happy.
Aha, you should never play this.
I'm happy to say like low D, like behind Simulacra at the bottom.
I would have put it in between RPG and Castlevania.
The reason I say D is because the bad outweighs the good, but there's not a ton of Italian developers. Like that's not a thing that really. There's a fucking ton of Canadian developers and Nordic developers, but Italian developers are few and far between. And as like a Italian game based in Italy, written in Italian. Like, I do think there is a space for this. Like, if you are someone who's from that culture, who like is from that place, that probably has a special place for you. Of like, oh, these are my people making this. This is something that I can like culturally connect with. Obviously, none of us are Italian, but I do think it doesn't, like, there is a person that this is for. Yeah. It's not like something I'd be like, don't play this if you are an Italian person who's looking for a game that comes from your culture. Like, you know, I think that is what saves it from the bowels of
what do you think
Spartan Assault and Intelligent
spacing wise? Where do you want to put it?
I mean, I'd put it above Mario RPG, but that's because I'm a petty little bitch. So you can put it between Mario RPG and Castlevania. I'm fine with that.
Okay. That's the majority. Unless anyone wants to use any veto to move it, we'll keep it there.
It's also hard. It's also hard for me because like it's right there on the right side next to Kirby and Mass Effect.
What?
Kirby Dreamland or whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
I see.
It's also hard for me because like I'd rather play a bad indie horror game than a good RPG. So like I'm gonna try to take that out. But,
I guess that's fair. Yeah, that's true. That's
you know, like, from an experience point of view.
Sure.
But yes, we'll leave it below Mario RPG.
Okay, next up we played this June 2022, but it's Kirby's Dream Course.
This is S tier, bro. This is
hold on.
Not.
I love this game.
Fucking S tier.
I love this game.
Absolutely not.
I'm willing to put this in A.
No.
If you're allowed to meet me in A, I'm willing to put this.
I'm vetoing to put this.
Whoa, shit. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Fucking absolutely not.
If you're using your veto, then you put it wherever you want then. We can have a little.
We'll put it high C.
Are you using your veto to put it high C?
Yes. I'm not allowing you to put this above fucking Pokemon and Village and Oregon Trail and Metal Gear. Ben! Metal Gear? You're putting it above Metal Gear?
I would have put this like end of A, maybe like somewhere in B.
Kai's free reign, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, I'm having a hard time putting it above Firewatch, to be honest.
I had a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of fun around this. I think this game, even though we talked about like older games still having a lot of like potential and being fun today, not only do I have a lot of nostalgia with like Game Grumps playing through this too and them creating their own version of it. But when I played this for the podcast, my wife Sarah and I got really into it. We played hours and hours of Kirby's Dream Course with each other, and it was so much fun. And again, this is an old game, but it's an old game that I put like 5 to 10 hours somewhere in between there with my partner just having fun playing Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah, I will say it's for me it's a must-play experience with another person. I wouldn't play this on my
for
own.
sure. Yeah, I would not play this by myself. I would definitely say you should play with
it's
someone.
golf, but Kirby.
Yeah.
And it's got, like,
you're right. Yes,
the charm
you're describing the bad parts.
Yeah.
It's golf with Kirby.
Like my wife, who's someone who doesn't play a lot of video games, the fact that she can play like an early '90s Kirby golf game and have fun, I think that like says something about it.
But
if you're using your veto, then
wait. Let me look at the rest of the games because I need to. There will be things that I.
Oh wait,
no.
Yeah. Which is fine. You decide because we can put it anywhere. I haven't even decided on a placement yet.
See, because I'm concerned about things like Death Stranding and Shadow of the Colossus and things that I fundamentally dislike greatly. Whereas, as much as I dislike the idea that you're putting this above some of, like, I mean, Ben wants to put this above Metal Gear. Fuck it. Let him live with that decision. I don't care. I didn't enjoy this game. I'm not using my veto for it.
I'd put it high B in Metal Gear or under Kentucky Route Zero in A.
I'm confused. Is Kai not using the veto?
I'm not using.
I think he's pulling it back.
I'm pulling it back because I realized there's things that I will have to defend.
So me and you have to figure out a spot because we're kind of similar, and then Kai's is going to have to concede as to wherever we decide to put it.
As long as it's towards the top, I don't care. Like if you're sitting towards the end of like the bottom of A, I'm fine with that.
I think I'm going to go high B. I'll put it above Metal Gear and B.
This is the most insane decision. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with that?
I don't have a choice.
No, I'm talking to Ben.
No.
I'm not okay with it, but I'm not
Would
okay
you really
with it
put this in S?
veto. Yeah, 100%.
No, but
I'm not even memeing. Like I genuinely.
Do you? If you're
had such a fucking blast
because you're passionate about it. If you're willing to move it up to low A, I think I'd be fine to meet you there.
Yeah, below Kentucky is where
I'm
seeing.
Kai's just flabbergasted that Kirby's Dream Course made it this high.
There are so many games like this. This isn't even the original.
This was the first.
I don't know if that's true.
Dude,
Do you know that that's true?
This was like, I think like 89 or something.
It's a good time, man. It's on Switch
was
and
like-
It was
NSO.
1994.
Was it really? God,
Yeah, it was
fucking hell.
1994.
I know it was like a SNES game.
Yeah, it's on Super Nintendo. It's on, if you're wanting to play it at home, y'all. It's on Switch NSO, so go play it on there.
Fucking
But
play it. Get
I
somebody
had,
and
like I
play
said,
it. It's a fucking
there's very few
blast.
games that me and my wife played together, and we played a fuck ton of this. So I mean, with that alone, and I had a good time playing it too. That alone, it's up there for me. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, I broke your heart, guys. Okay, moving on. July 2022, we started playing through our next book club game, which was The Quarry. So Quarry, if you don't know, I'm blanking on the developer, but same developer
Is it
that does
Supermassive?
Until Dawn and Super. Yeah, I think it is
Supergiant?
Supermassive. No,
Supermassive?
Supergiant does the
Supermassive
80s.
games.
Yeah. It takes place at a summer camp with a bunch of kids. Things start getting wonky and weird. There's lichens and werewolves that are involved, and it's very much the decision-based game where all your decisions have an impact. You're making a lot of quick time events that can affect narrative. Characters can die. Characters can live. I loved this game. I remember playing it, and I had a really good time
Mhm.
with playing through this.
I really hate when people's hands get cut off, but that's my main note. So
Yep,
I don't do well with that.
A lot of
There
hand
was a lot
damage.
of
You were
body
probably
horror,
scarred
yeah.
from when we played through Resi 7, and what's his name got his hand cut off all the time.
Ethan,
So
yeah.
Ethan, yep, constantly losing his hand.
Constantly.
Constantly. My gut reaction for The Quarry, and you guys can chime in on how you felt about this, The Quarry in general, and my ranking is somewhere in B, maybe even going up to A. No, actually, I take that back. I saw Kirby's Dream Course as an A, and I think I definitely.
Here's the problem. Putting Kirby's Dream Course in A has fucked us. Because every game that comes after this, we're going to be like, well, Kirby's Dream Course is in A, which is a crazy thing.
I would put this above. I put this in between like Kentucky and Zelda, where like I would put this like pretty high in A tier.
It's not better than Kentucky. I would put this high B. It's above Metal Gear. It's not an A tier game though. Like it's
So you're saying it's not as good as Kirby's Dream Course?
because I think Until Dawn is a stronger version of this game.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I would say
agree with that.
I would say between
we really
Kentucky and
liked
Kirby.
playing Until Dawn together.
That's what I'm saying. I'm having a real hard time, but that just shows how much I like The Quarry. Is it's like if it's not, it's close. Like Until Dawn's really good, but it's pretty damn close. I think ultimately I do like Until Dawn a little better than The Quarry.
Yeah, see, I think for me, I've not played Until Dawn. I've watched a lot of people play it.
I think I will move Quarry up above Until Dawn for me because we played through The Quarry. We got both of our partners involved too, and it was like a whole group.
That's
experience,
true. It was a group
which was
experience.
cool. It was a whole like doing so, and those Supermassive games are perfect for that, right? Get friends
And I think
involved, making decisions and everything like that too.
I think that's for me why I put it like between Kentucky and Kirby's Dream Course. I know this is going to become my Sonic Racing having Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah, it really will.
But like,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with putting it in between Kentucky.
I think
and
the
Kirby's
thing
Dream
for me with the
Course.
Quarry is like the idea that like you can get people around and you can kind of make a thing of it. They had the whole like movie night function where you can like say how you want the characters to act and it will play out. There's like ways you can do like polls where everybody can vote and then the majority does. Like it's a really, really fucking great group horror experience.
Maybe release this episode as a video. I don't know how interesting this is going to be to listen to us without the visual context of the tier.
We'll do it as a video.
We'll just do both.
Yeah, we'll just do both. We'll just have this as a video.
Okay, between Kentucky and Kirby.
What we were just talking about? What game is this?
What? The Quarry.
The Quarry,
Right, it's on the left
Blank.
side next to Pokemon Omega and between Ratchet.
Yeah,
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So this goes between them. Okay. So that was The Quarry. So after that, it was another big one. August of 2022, we played through Stray. And Stray's up there for me. I mean, looking at the list of games, I overall
Is
like
it better
Stray.
than Kirby's Dream Course? That's the question we now have to face ourselves with every fucking time we make a decision.
I think Stray's mechanics are kind of unmatched because we haven't seen anything like. There's very few games where you play as an animal, and there's very few games where you play as an animal that's done as successful as something like the I almost said the Stray. I was gonna say The Quarry and Stray at the same. Unlike Stray, so I would say on a like mechanical aspect, Stray is kind of unmatched. compared to a lot of other games. I had an interesting world. I love the like kind of noir punk, neon lights kind of aesthetic, and the idea of like human race going extinct, even robots having to live underground. I think is interesting. I think how the story kind of ends isn't as interesting. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions that I remember us not really getting any clarity for.
Yeah.
But the idea of like play cat game as cat and jump and doing cat stuff, I think straight nails it, and I think it was a good time.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said.
I wholeheartedly disagree with what you just said.
I personally would put it between Metal Gear and Village. That's
exactly where I was going
that I'm in.
Wait, actually,
dude, Kirby is killing me because it's better than the Quarry. Sorry, it just is. It's a better game than Quarry. Stray is a more interesting story, world, experience. Like, there's other games that did what the Quarry did. It's just a fucking narrative
Dream
game.
Course here is
It's really just fucking everything up. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm happy to like. That was just my opinion. We can go like what we should be doing. Like we should retcon Kirby's Dream Course, right? Like
we can move stuff around. I'm perfectly fine with moving things around.
Put Kirby's Dream Course there.
I can't handle it in A. It can be in B, and it can even be above Metal Gear in B. Which
if that's the consensus,
do we want to hear then?
I think as much as I love Metal Gear, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, Kirby's Dream Course is much more of an enjoyable experience.
I think I like this too because this kind of gives us a ceiling.
A to B break.
It's it's the A to B break where we like, well, this is definitely better than Kirby, and we can just stick it in here and then go from there. So I think for the listeners, I guess I don't know if you're viewing this or listening to this. I think what we're doing. Kirby's Dream Course got moved to the top of B on above Metal Gear Solid, and probably would put Stray. I think as you were talking about it, Kai kind of convincing me, and as well going through my memory of us playing through this, I think I would put it above Quarry, maybe above Kentucky, but that's hard for me. I think it was.
I think Kentucky and Stray are very like I'm either.
I'm having a hard time
they're very close though, one way or the other. It's really just like what do you appreciate more in your game?
The music, the music in Stray was so good.
Okay, right now you've got me talking. You got me thinking. I think solely for the reason that we can't include the discourse around the game, Stray has to be above Kentucky.
Sure.
Okay. I'm fine. I was kind of I'm like in the middle of both of those opinions. Where if it went below Kentucky and between Corey, I'd be fine. If it went above Kentucky and between Ocarina, I think I'd be fine there too.
As long as it's not above Ocarina.
It's not above Ocarina.
Yeah, I think you've talked me into it. I really love the mechanics of that game. And like you said, you actually felt like you were a cat. You jumped like a cat and having to like run up the wall and everything. And
I can't wait for people to fundamentally disagree with our entire list and be like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
I mean,
that's the best part.
You put Kirby's Dream Land as high B, which that's
Dream Course.
Doesn't fucking matter. We also have Oregon Trail above Firewatch, which probably people are gonna.
That wasn't my opinion.
I understand. I'm looking at what people are gonna disagree with. Also, Super Mario RPG is in D tier below Frog Fractions and that Dragon Cancer. So one
also,
of the most beloved
not my decision.
This will be interesting.
We'll talk about interesting.
But let's take a moment here to say our bell curve.
Yeah, it's kind of
beautiful.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. We're really doing a great mathematical job of,
but like the low A to high C bell curve.
It's just a very nice, perfect. Okay,
we don't have an overabundance of S tier, and we don't have a ton of F tier stuff. So
we're
a lot of mid stuff. Well, talking about interesting experience, August of 2022, we made the harrowing journey of playing through Chrono Trigger, which is the other game that we are very notorious with. I think.
We all know where this belongs. It belongs right next to Super Mario RPG.
It belongs. It's at least in C tier.
Not a fucking chance. It belongs.
It belongs
high D.
It belongs next to that Dragon Cancer at the bottom of C tier.
God, you guys are such cucks.
I would even put it above. I would put it above Frog Fractions. I would put it in between 12 minutes and Frog Fractions.
You're just being petty.
I don't know if it was that.
No,
you're just being. You want to hurt my feelings. No, you know I love Frog Fractions, and I already am sad of where it is, and now you're trying to put a game I definitely despise above Frog Fractions.
But that's the thing is, I think I got sucked into the meme of this game, and looking at our tiers and how we're like ranking everything, right? Enjoyable, but just more good than bad. I think I enjoyed more that I didn't. It was just the things that I did in Chrono Trigger kind of left so much of a stain. And also we went into this context with every single person telling me this is the best game in the world. Like so many people telling me this is such an incredible experience. And I didn't have that. Did I have a fine experience? Sure. I think Chrono Trigger was fine. I didn't have an incredible experience, but between the music and between the ways you can interconnect your RPG team members and mix moves and how that changes the dynamic, we didn't really get a lot of character moments until towards the end, but like the ending character moments we talked about.
Ever fully understood the attack block mechanics of this game?
I will say I did not understand the system
fully.
Oh yeah, the system. I understand the system of like mixing moves and everything together.
No, the system of because it wasn't truly turn based, was it? It was like
sure,
live ongoing, like
sure. I never got like a handle on it because I was bad at that system. But there was characters
bad at that system. That system was poorly explained.
It was bad. The system was bad.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because there is games today that have that system. They're more real time strategy where it's the back
Chrono
and forth.
Trigger is paying Jared. he's softened on Chrono Trigger.
Honestly, I have
all chat on this game, and now you're like, well,
we have all chat on this game, but I've reflected on my time with Chrono Trigger, which I know of us want to bury those memories and never think about it, but that's not how this works.
I often am forced with thinking about them because its game is constantly brought up as our worst take, and I'm steadfast in my hatred of it.
I think as like I've kind of gone on and got out the meme of like shitting on Chrono Trigger.
This fucking Toyota ad that's been on here this entire time. How do I get rid of this?
Chrono Trigger does do Finn's good. Wow, he got rid of one Toyota ad and got another one.
It was the same one. I said I'm not interested. This is the same one.
Are you sure?
Chrono Trigger does do Finn's good. You know, it had the, like Jared said, the ability to like mix your attacks between different team members. I just think that there's more bad than good, but the bad doesn't outweigh the good, so I have to put it at a low C tier.
Here's my thing, and here's why. I'm sure whatever low C, it belongs in D tier, but I'm not going to use a veto, so it doesn't matter. The thing that was said about this game, like, because look, I'm going to put aside the fact that it is a 90s JRPG because I already dislike that genre greatly.
Yeah,
I don't want to deal with that, but. Everyone said before this, it's not even like everyone said. Everyone heralds this as a great story. They say it's incredible storytelling. It's an amazing. This story is incredible. The story is dog shit. And if you want to know why I think that, go listen back to the 87 fucking episodes of Chrono Trigger, where every episode I get more and more angry that people think it's a good story. And like, I know I'm the story cuck on the podcast, and I probably weight it too heavily, especially in our early episodes. But like, it's not a good story. No. Ultimately, like, it's just not. And like, that's okay. But like, saying it is one of the greatest stories ever told in video games does a lot of games a disservice that are more deserving. And to that point, Super Mario RPG is a worse story than Chrono Trigger. So I do think between the two, Chrono Trigger can be above Super Mario RPG. And probably above that Dragon Cancer.
Yeah.
But definitely below Frog Fractions. I will die on that.
Yeah.
As long as it's towards the lower end of C, I'm happy.
And see, I don't necessarily disagree with some of the stuff you're saying here, because I had the same thought of just like, it's not, but I came out with it being fine. Even listening back, I listened to some of our ending thoughts in the last one. I had the same opinion where it's like, there was a lot that I didn't like, but there's a lot that I did like. And I just think it was the expectation given to me that kind of ruined the experience.
And look, if you put Chrono Trigger next to Frog Fractions, preferably on the right side, but even on the left side, I will be upset. But 2 frog-based games.
That is true.
That's true.
Frog is a character in Chrono Trigger. But I'm fine with putting it there. I definitely would put it. I even might like I don't know. 12 minutes is interesting. I might put it above 12 minutes, but we already have a majority here. We'll put Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, stop trying to push Chrono Trigger higher. Dave Jackson paying you to fucking put Chrono Trigger where it belongs.
I'm fine with it with putting it here. Okay, my phone locked. The next game, we did 11 weeks of Chrono Trigger, by the way. Just putting that
Which also probably didn't help, if I'm being honest.
And that's when we had no breaks. That was back-to-back episodes. That's when we literally just talked about Chrono Trigger. We already did a Chrono Redux for
the main
the main one.
The main story of Chrono Trigger takes 20 to 25 hours, and we did 11 episodes on Chrono Trigger.
It's wild because
to be fair, we did a lot. I mean, I at least did a lot of the side stuff. I did Robbo's story arc and stuff like that.
That's wild because Ocarina of Time, I think, is like 25 to 28, and we did that in like half the time. We did that in 6 episodes, which is fun. Granted, I'm way more. I could talk about Ocarina of Time with my eyes closed. So I'm way more familiar about that.
But... I definitely put close to 40 hours into Chrono Trigger though. By the time I did all the side stuff and everything.
Next up on the list, October. This was our Halloween episode for 2022. We played through Scorn. Which Scorn was a new game that had just come out at that point. Scorn, how do I even go about explaining what the hell happens in Scorn? Honestly, I don't know. That game's fucking weird.
Scorn is a biomechanical horror game.
H.R. Geiger.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You basically are like going through this land, and there's a lot of symbolism about fertility and body horror, and there's like a weird thing where you like have to rip a dude's hand off and use it to go somewhere.
Yep.
It's D tier, high D tier, in my opinion.
I was thinking mid-C's. I liked aspects of this. The first-person shooting was dog shit. The shooting mechanic
was bad, but the art was incredible.
Oh, for sure.
The experience, the like way that your body interacted with the world was
Well, there's
I don't think it ever been done.
There's very physical aspects to it because there's so like human, organic material with the environment that plays into a part with your own person using your organic material to unlock doors and things like that. So
I personally would put this in low B. I really enjoyed this game, even though the shooting was atrocious, and that is a problem because it is, I think, a third-person shoot or a first-person shooter kind of at its core. But I think it did something that no other game I've ever played has done, which is environment meshing with the character in a way that felt so natural and so gross at the same time. Like, just visually horrifying. And I really enjoyed that.
Do you think you'd be willing to go high C or below Firewatch?
As long as it's not as long as it's not below Rat Tornadoes.
No.
I'm very happy with
my only problem with Scorn because the first person shooter mechanics are terrible. They're not very good. Scorn is essentially like a walking simulator, walking puzzle game, right? And thinking about that and Firewatch in between, Scorn is hard. Scorn is a hard puzzle game. There's lots of puzzles that I almost bounced off of because they were so difficult, which makes this hard to recommend to people because it's so hard. That's why I was thinking below Firewatch. Firewatch is the accessible version of this if we're talking about like artsy things, and Scorn is it's an artsy kind of walking sim, some first person mechanics.
You know that picture of the two girls in the car, and one of them has like rainbow hair and the other one is emo? That is Firewatch and Scorn together. It's like they exist in a realm where they're similar, but you really have to be a certain kind of person to enjoy either of them.
Can you hear Buddy snoring? Hang on.
No.
Oh?
I heard a little sniff or something.
Yep. Yeah.
He's just knocked out back there.
He's asleep.
Jinx is snoring like he pays rent, man.
Jinx is also right here. Just don't. I didn't mean to call you. Go back to sleep. She's right there, also knocked out. But I'd be in between Firewatch and Plague Tales, where I put Scorn.
Fine.
I can agree with that. Okay, yeah. I think
as you put it in D tier. You gotta.
That was my gut reaction was like D tier, but then I think as you guys were talking about it, I was remembering like having to use your body to open stuff and having to like. Yeah. The kind of like fleshy puzzles and stuff, and like
This next one, which I know people like this game too, but it's so much of a nothing sandwich in the sea of like good games we have here. November of 2020, 2022, we played through Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, and this is the most D tier game that I've ever played.
Well, hang on, wait. D tier, like bad outweighs good.
Maybe
That's
not.
what you're saying.
It's not even like bad. It's just like not memorable. Like it's just like it feels like I said, a nothing.
It's the most bottom C tier game.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine.
C is bad outweighs good, and Turnip Boy doesn't really have any bad, but it doesn't really have any good.
Turnip Boy was enjoyable.
I can't put Turnip Boy above Super Mario RPG. That
I can absolutely
100%.
I enjoyed Turnip Boy significantly more than I enjoyed fucking Super Mario RPG.
For me, it's at the very end of C, like behind that Dragon.
I would personally, I would put it above that Dragon Cancer because the game is at least funny. Like I remember laughing while playing this game and being like,
I remember playing Dragon Cancer. I'd be.
And I was not laughing at that game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I'm fine with whatever. Is the majority above that Dragon Cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd put it below personally, but.
Okay, well, that's the majority then is below.
Okay.
Below that Dragon Cancer. I'm the only one who liked it more than that Dragon Cancer, but.
Yeah. CT is really getting a lot of members here.
Well, that's good. It's the spiritual center.
Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one because this was another Kai game that he recommended. November 15th, 2022. We started playing through Papers, Please. Which
Papers, Please was my recommendation, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
it?
That was it does I will give you, it does feel like a game I would recommend.
It's a Kai-ass game, but it was mine.
Huh. That's my bad.
Okay.
I think we did the other way.
I did Chrono Trigger. That's right. So then you would have done Papers, Please.
Put us through that torture. I think Ben, you go. This is your game. That's what feels like a me game.
I would put it between Pokemon and Village in the good but not great category.
I disagree.
Lower?
I think
I would put it in A.
Above Kirby's Dream Course.
Yes, above Kirby's Dream Course. And above Metal Gear.
Because I don't know.
I feel like I can be convinced.
I think the
for
game
as a man with OCD, identifying minute differences between things is my
that's okay. So. No, you had me in the first half, and now you lost me because that's like a hard recommend for people. Like, you want to organize papers? No, you don't want to do that.
That is exactly what I want to do.
The reason I'm sat at like mid B is because I did enjoy the gameplay, and I enjoyed the social commentary background. Like you are working on a border, and slowly there are more restrictions imposed on who can come in, and you're denying people, and they're saying like, please, I've got family, like I need to do XYZ. I don't think that was leaned into enough for me to make it an A tier. I think it dabbled in it, but if it had kind of gone into more of the moral and ethical conundrums, it did go into it, but if it'd gone deeper into it, I would say it was an A. But I think it dipped into enough of it for it to be like,
as long as it's above Kirby's Dream Course, I'm fine.
Well, we're putting it in between.
Yeah,
above or below?
I personally said above Pokemon.
He said above Pokemon, but what is your feeling?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning the mid B.
We liked this game when we played it. We talked about the moral conundrum of
the
idea of like
right.
of
do you know what, Kai? You're right. Put it.
What if we did high B above? Do I like it better than the Quarry?
Can we do this then? Can we move Kirby down?
Kirby's going to slowly move down lower as we go through.
Kirby come down.
Kirby really becomes the litmus test for everything that comes above it.
What if we move Kirby like?
I just want to get Kirby there. So Metal Gear, then Kirby. And what I would say is, now for me, it's like, because Metal Gear is dealing with like the conundrum of like nukes and
another moral ambiguity
and everything like that. And then this is like ethical and
so you're saying between Kirby and Metal Gear.
Yeah, I think that's where I'd put it. Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I'm happy to hear arguments.
Okay.
I don't know if I like this, but I liked this.
I think if we're doing this, I would say it should go Kentucky Route Zero, Metal Gear, Papers,
You want to
Please,
move Metal Gear
Quarry.
up here.
Yeah, and Quarry down to B above Kirby.
Okay, I can handle that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want.
Or leave Metal Gear and just move
Remember
the
what we
Quarry
said we were going to
down.
lock in?
No, it's fine. We're malleable. We'll move around. So wait, what did we just talk about? We were talking
The
about
thing is, the more
Papers,
games
Please.
you add, the more nuance you see, and the more you're kind of
Yeah.
like, I don't know. If
I
agree
think
with
Papers, Please is, and once again, I'm not taking this into account. It is heralded as one of the best indie games ever made, and it has won numerous awards for its
Yeah.
experience. Which, once again, who fucking cares? That's not. It's our opinion on what ends up on this
Right.
list. I will say, like, playing through Papers, Please, I did have a visceral reaction to, like, I
Yeah.
really want to let this person through.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's the wrong thing
and
to
once
do.
again,
Like
I
against
am the kind of
your-
person who likes paperwork, sim, like identifying differences,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I remember watching people get shot in line and being like,
Yeah,
that's fucking horrifying and
awful.
disgusting. And this was at, like, we were playing this, you know, kind of at a time where it was like, I mean, not that immigration has gotten
I
any
was like,
better
it's
in this country, but it's still dog shit.
here.
So I can't believe I'm saying this as the Metal Gear guy. How do we feel
What?
about putting Papers, Please above Metal Gear solely for
mean,
the
I'm fine with
purpose
that.
that the player is the one who is making the ethical choices?
Yeah.
Metal
Can we also
Gear
put Metal Gear
discussed-
back in B?
You want Metal Gear?
I want Metal Gear to be Metal Gear as it is
the
the
litmus,
dividing
like,
line
the-
of B.
Okay.
Okay.
Corey, Kirby, Papers, Please, and A.
Okay,
I'm
so
happy, 'cause I think-
for the non-video people, Kirby's Dream Course got moved to B in between the Quarry and Village, and Papers, Please is right below Kentucky Route Zero in A tier.
Yeah, and I think
we can all feel good.
I'm happy with that, and I can see Kirby getting lower down, but I think as more games get introduced, I'm coming to the
You came in so hot, and you were like, Kirby is
Dude,
an
I
S tier
fucking
game.
really enjoyed Kirby's Dream Course.
The problem is it's like we see this, and then it's like, oh, but what about all these good games that we
Yeah.
have played as
Yeah,
well?
don't worry, we'll have opinions.
We'll
about
get
those
to that.
too, and we'll
I
all
think-
shift around.
I think I have I'm happy with this because Papers, Please puts the player in the position where they are the one deciding the outcome of that ethical
Yeah.
conundrum. Metal
And
Gear
that
just
moral
discusses it, but-
decision of letting people in, even though it's technically the wrong thing based off of
Yes,
your
yeah.
job, right? Going
Al-
against your job.
Also, to the
Yeah.
point of, like, once again, this is not necessarily the way we're thinking about this, but, like, could you hand Papers, Please to anyone, and will they kind of pick it up without knowing how to play video games? Yes. Like, it lends itself
It's
really
not
where it's-
mechanically complex necessarily.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
sure,
like
you
it's
can
paying
get in the
attention
weeds,
to
but-
detail, and like it starts so slow and then builds quickly. And the other thing that we haven't mentioned about Papers, Please that's really interesting is that the moral conundrum comes from the fact that you yourself have a family you're supporting, and
Yeah.
your choices affect where your family
'Cause
lives.
you don't
and-
get
and
money.
if they die.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that aspect of balancing your own importance towards other people's, and like there's that aspect of it too, which I think is
Yeah,
very
that's true.
interesting as far as the game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm fine with it being
swayed.
there. This next one, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this is F. This is gonna be F tier. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero.
Yeah, this
Like,
is F tier.
This
This
is
is
F
No
tier.
one needs to
I do think this is in between Halo Spartan Assault and Intelligent Cube. Or sorry, no, this is at the end. I would definitely play Intelligent Cube more than Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
yeah.
Mythology.
Yeah, this is the worst game.
This is the
One
worst.
of the worst
Yeah.
games we've ever.
Sorry,
played.
Neil.
Yeah.
This was awful.
This was terrible.
Yeah, it didn't
Truly
control
a
well. It had,
horrible
it had an
game. Yeah.
awful story.
Yeah.
So
So bad.
sorry. Okay, next one, another good one I think we played for the podcast, January 3rd, 2023. So we're in the new year now. So this was all 2022's games that we did here. We started 2023 playing through As Dusk Falls.
Now, hear me out. If the Quarry is B, As Dusk Falls is A.
I feel like As Dusk Falls better than the Quarry.
I feel the
I-
exact opposite.
I thought the opposite as well.
Really?
I liked Quarry
I like
better
the Quarry
than
better than As Dusk Falls.
I think As Dusk Falls is more interesting visually because of the stylization they do with the game, but at least
Hmm.
of the story, I guess it's more a grounded story, which I tend to appreciate and relate with more. But in terms of like decisions, I thought Quarry was more interesting in that
decision-
aspect of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. The decisions in the Quarry are more interesting. I think for me, the reason I prefer As Dusk Falls is because it's the three families intermingling, and it's
Yeah.
how their journeys connect, and like how everything kind of formed to lead up to what is at the end of the story.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with putting this above the quarry in B. I don't think it's A. I think
Okay.
I enjoyed the quarry more, but if I have to negotiate with where this is getting placed, I think above the quarry is fine, but it's definitely not an A tier game. I mean,
If
look at the games in A. Ocarina, fucking Kentucky Route Zero, Stray, and Papers, Please. Like, it is not in that realm of...
Yeah.
I'm
okay,
fine.
yeah.
I'm fine with going through the majority consensus of here, but I think I personally liked Quarry better. But if we're feeling majority here, then I think that's fine with
Well,
me.
technically, we're
Majority
the
is technically the quarry more.
yeah,
So
we're,
put the quarry
we're
first.
the majority.
I thought you
Yeah,
guys.
used to,
I thought you
yeah.
guys liked it better.
No.
than
We
Quarry. Oh, okay.
like the quarry better.
Kai was negotiating
but
me
Ben
down
wanted-
from an A to a B.
wanted- to go to
I
A.
see.
So I
I
was
see.
like-
No. I'm fine with it being there.
Okay. If you made it to the end of the episode, thank you for listening. It really means a lot to have people join us and go through all of these games that we have played. Next episode will be part 2, and we will be wrapping up our tier list of all of the games that we have played on Play Along Pod so far. Let us know in the Discord if there was anything in particular that kind of stood out, maybe something that you missed you're going to go back and listen to, or if you think there was something that we put in the wrong tier, then do let us know.